What's good? What's good? What's good? Here we are on another episode of Puros Compas podcast. Su compa Carlos Rodríguez.
Y su compa el Bardo.
¿Cómo anda, compa?
Andamos bien, compa.
Yeah.
And you know what?
How's this?
Today's episode might be a little
Empezamos.
slurish. That's
yeah,
why.
the slur for sure.
That's why. I
And
don't
then,
know, man. We
pero,
got some,
pero it's hitting the right spot because of this little cold weather we got this
it
week.
sure is. I ain't even lying. I'm sweating a little bit.
Already. Maybe it's the shrooms you ate.
No, I have none yet. I'm going to wait till a little bit later.
We want to thank everybody who's listening. Shout out to our boy Jose Cermeño, who's actually
Yes,
back.
sir. He's back. We
He's
missed
back
him
and better than ever.
on fucking Monday.
He's blaming it on us that we
Yeah.
didn't tell him about the schedule. But anyway.
We sent that schedule like 5 times.
Fuck
so
yeah.
I don't know what to talk about, but
But shout out to everybody who's listening because these are final episodes that's audio only.
yes.
So for that reason, we're actually going to have to, for sure.
We're on a diet.
Yeah. We're on a diet for the visual because it adds 10 pounds or whatever the fuck it is. And then for that reason as well, we're going to bring back our guest today. We're going to have to bring him back so he can show off his
six-pack.
What's the sport that he's doing right now?
Fucking pickleball.
Pickleball.
Some
His
shit
pickleball-
like that. Look
pickleball
that shit
body.
up because I don't know what he's talking about.
A big shout out, man. We want to say what's up to our boy who came through today, David Suarez.
Yes, sir.
Thank you
Hell
guys for
yeah.
having me, man.
¿Cómo anda? How's it going?
Good.
And thank you for the
Tequilita.
tequila, bro.
Oh, no. It's a pleasure, man. I like trying new bottles. I haven't tried this one yet.
I told Bart.
This dude brought us que las lágrimas de la llorona.
Las tres-
Something like
Is it Las Tres Lágrimas? Or what is it?
Tears of La Llorona.
Tears of La
of La-
Llorona.
Yeah.
I had told Bart, I'm like, hey, man, David just texted me. He said he's never cracked open this bottle.
Yeah.
So that sounds like we're about to have some fun tonight.
Yeah.
fuck.
It's good, man.
It is good.
I mean, I'm not a tequila expert per se, but the process that you told me for this particular tequila is a little bit insane for me.
It's different. That's why it is what it is. I mean, it's tough to get, but, you know, a lot of people drink tequila blanco, neat, you know, like simple. This guy, 5-year aged in 3 different barrels. Then he blends it. Then yeah, it's crazy. So it's different. So if you like whiskey, scotch.
So it's a total of 5 years, though. And he just mixes it up with those 5 years?
Right. So each barrel separates a scotch barrel, a whiskey, bourbon barrel, and I think the last one I forgot, but then a sherry cask, which is what they do a lot of scotches into. They'll blend them, or they'll put them separate, then they'll put them all together, bottle it. And it's crazy. It's a very unique tequila, but it's definitely for people that are bourbon drinkers. Because, you know, tequila, there's so many varieties of it now, especially now they're doing some crazy stuff to it. But it's unique. I've never tried it. I've had it in my shelf for like a year now.
Wow.
And I'm like, and actually, you see, it's numbered 422. So.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
So
What number is it?
420.
Wow.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to
It
be
was
for you
meant
guys.
to be.
Yeah.
meant to be.
Wow.
Well,
That's
cheers
insane.
to that.
Cheers to
I'm
that.
taking
That's for
another
sure.
little fucking drink. This is.
I'm
this
just
is
like
good shit right
savoring
here.
it. Like I don't, the very first time when we had Dave and his brother Papi Eric, yo como un pinche ignorante, like they gave me a drink and I'm like, Dad, I fucking downed it and they're looking at me like, nah, bro.
I stopped myself right now when we poured the first one, compa. I grabbed that shit.
Es que no se bien acostumbrado
Ya
a la
pensaba que andaba en
mexicanada.
el pinche Patron otra vez, taking a fucking shot. No, but it definitely is some good fucking tequila.
No,
Like,
and it's unique.
Flavors like crazy.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, that's it's fun to try new stuff, and this guy's a legit. His name's Gerardo Gonzalez, the master distiller. Yeah,
Damn.
shout out to him all the way in Jalisco, but he's an OG tequila maker, so I enjoy trying new stuff out.
Now,
so.
does he come or is this like one of those big like salsa kind of? No, he's just
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah, he just and I'm pretty sure he just makes this one. So a lot of people, when you make
Okay.
tequila, you make your blanco because it's the same
Right.
liquid. You just how you barrel it and how long you barrel it for.
Uh-huh.
From what I understand, and like I said, I did like an hour of research on this thing on YouTube. It sounds like he just makes this. So he uses all of the agaves. He gets them from the highlands. He's distilling in Tequila, Jalisco, which is the lowlands, and then he just makes this. And they're numbered, and he's got. I don't know enough about it. All I
Right.
know is that it was really hard to get. And I'm like, well, shit, I have to try it before the year's out. So,
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that, man.
No, it's a pleasure,
for
man.
Sure. I probably would have never tried this motherfucker.
Well, I had,
yeah.
same. I mean, I had when he told me the brand, I'm like, all right. And then I love the bottle. I mean, the bottle's kind of like rustic, and it's got the little pop off
yeah.
in the top.
What was the beer that had that pop top?
It's
Remember, it
that
was
green beer, no?
Croach,
Something like
Cloach.
that.
Yeah.
Something like
I remember.
that.
I like those pop bottles.
Yeah,
It seals it well.
Yeah. I know it's a green bottle. Yeah, I forget what it starts with a G, doesn't it?
I think it's Colch.
Yeah?
Actually, yeah. I remember drinking it back in the day.
Yeah. As far as tequila goes, I wanted to bring something up to you, and I fucked up because I should have brought it up before we started, just so I know not to mess things up. But I know that when we first talked at the Guac Pod, we had talked a little bit. We skimmed a little bit over tequila, and we skimmed a little bit about Clase Azul. Is that what that one's name?
The one with like the big,
With the
beautiful
porcelain
ceramic bottle. Yeah.
And I remember that you guys had said that it's not the greatest per se. That they just did a whole new design, and it became popular. The little fucking bell on the top and everything. Is that really? I mean, is it a matter of opinion? Like, and I'm only bringing this up because I did a little sit down as well. I don't know if you've seen it with Omar Ramos.
Yeah.
And he's such a huge fan of it, and I kind of
loves it.
Yeah,
and he was a great customer when Tequileria was open.
Yeah.
He was a great customer, huge tequila fan.
Oh yeah,
and that was his favorite.
He killed the bottle on his own.
Yeah,
man.
no,
I was like,
he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Good voice, man, and he does sports too, right? He does the Bulls games.
He does like all the Chicago sports.
Yeah, he's
Spanish,
awesome.
yeah. And he was a big fan. I kind of told him like, I don't know if that bottle's that good, man.
You know, it's really different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
People, you know, everyone likes something different. In my opinion, we're from Jalisco. I think Omar might be from Jalisco too. It's just how I think it has a lot to do like the first time you have it, the ambiance you were in, the environment you're in. If you're with your buddies, you're having a good time. You crack the bottle, it's gonna taste fucking great because you're with your guys.
Yeah. Yep.
I saw that bottle grow from an airport tequila. So we would go travel to Mexico. You can only buy it at the airport.
Right.
And what do American culture gringos do? You see a beautiful bottle, that's the one I want to put on my bar.
Right.
And that's how it started. And then they've changed the juice inside of it like multiple times. I'm not saying it's a bad tequila. It's a sweet tequila.
Right.
And so a lot of the stuff that I shouldn't talk shit about other tequila brands.
Yeah.
They're all good, but I've had almost all of them. So
Right.
I'm picky. Now I don't want people that do additives or add coloring. You know, te pones un poco más mamón, I guess. The more tequilas you have, or like you guys with, when you guys like smoking.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys, don't
We
want
have
to smoke.
favorite strains, yeah.
So and now it's taken on a life of its own. Now Clase Azul, you see that in the back of the bar. That's the one you want because it's a status thing too, like 1942. It's a status thing.
Yeah.
The juice is good. I'll drink it. Now, if I'm going to buy something, I'd rather buy something made by an actual family from Jalisco or an actual non-celebrity.
Yeah.
I've tried the Michael Jordan brand. The Rock is like, we love The Rock. We try his stuff, but I try to support.
So you're not gonna get the Kylie Jenner one.
Kendall. Don't
Or
mess
Kendall.
up the
Oh,
Kardashians.
man.
Okay, man.
Who's Kylie's the other one?
My wife would kill me if I didn't correct you there.
Oh, it is Kendall.
Kendall, yeah.
Kylie's Travis Scott, right?
Correct, yeah.
Kendall is Ben Simmons' bum ass.
No, I think not Ben Simmons anymore. It's Devin Booker, I think.
Shit.
I think it's like every year it's
That's
just
why
a
Ben
new.
Simmons has been sucking. Well, I know he's not playing, right?
Dude, they just have him on the bench.
Did you?
He's heartbroken.
I did see this article that said Ben Simmons contemplating coming back because he's going bankrupt.
I saw that too, but I think that it's a lot of the stuff's media driven. I think to try to push him to come play
come
too.
back?
Right?
To come back and miss shots?
Yeah, he's a horrible shooter.
Oh my God.
But look what happened with Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball, the first 2 years, man, his shot was horrible.
I love the way we're. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Bulls.
We're talking about sports. I know you're a huge sports guy, man.
Love sports,
I
man.
like the way we segmented into it.
No, tequila sports.
It all goes
Great mix.
hand in hand.
What's that?
A great mix.
Yeah, no, and now, I mean, watching them play is like so fucking fun. They're exciting. They're throwing alley oops. Like the kid from Illinois, Ayo, he's from Chicago.
Man, yeah.
I
think he's from Morgan Park, I think.
It had been a long time since the Bulls were exciting to watch, man.
Unbelievably exciting.
We had
Unbelievably long time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like double digits in years, I think, as far as how far.
So yeah, I used to live in Oak Park. I had season tickets to the Bulls. I had like nosebleeds.
Okay.
Because I'm like, fuck it, I'm doing it. My wife's like, this is a bad idea. I'm like, I don't care. I went to like I went to every game when the Rose, Butler, Noah,
Jokic, yeah.
And then the 2 years that he, fucked
Messed
up his knee, it was such a bummer.
Yeah.
And it was so exciting to see a Chicago product like lead, win the MVP.
Yeah.
So yeah, love the Bulls and love drinking tequila, watching them and all that. But it's an exciting year. But Lonzo's shot, they recreated his entire shot.
Yeah.
And now he's fucking playing. I mean, he's so good.
I gotta admit, I was not a big Lonzo guy. When we got Lonzo, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. The dad giving bad vibes, man.
Oh, I mean, but look at but
Big baller brand.
all three kids are in the NBA.
Yeah. I
So
mean, you got to
people-
give it up to that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, props to that for sure.
And le bajó.
Yeah.
You know,
I think somebody had to tell him.
For sure.
Yeah.
But, also, I think if someone's like, hey, you're not the celebrity here, your kids are all going to make $100 million. Just sit in the
Just shut the
background,
hell
man.
up. Yeah.
But for sure, I mean, they all seem like nice guys.
Yeah.
And they're killing it. I mean, the other brother that plays out east for the Charlotte,
Yeah.
I mean, he's fucking sick.
Yeah,
So-
LaMelo, is that
yeah,
LaMelo?
Really good.
Yeah.
LaMelo.
And then is there a younger guy?
LiAngelo?
Is he like overseas or something?
I think he got signed to the to the Hornets for like a 15-day contract a couple weeks ago.
But he got let go, I think.
Yeah,
like day
I
one
don't
or
think
something like that.
That's got to suck to be
Day
that brother,
one.
right? Like
That's
the other two
gotta-
brothers are like
yeah.
It's
legit.
like Jordan's kids. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Jordan,
Yeah, or
I mean,
Walter Payton's son too.
Walter
Jake-
Payton.
He was
decent in Miami.
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah, but did he make it to the league?
I don't know if he did. He didn't. He never got
Yeah.
any playing time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole sports, the whole Chicago Bulls coming up. You're a big Bears guy or no?
Huge.
Yeah?
Huge Bears fan. I'm a Chicago
Are you
fan.
a Chicago fan?
Yeah.
So
I got
both Cubs and Sox, man.
No, that's
What are you
probably
leaning towards?
I was cheering for the Sox this year, but my mom, when she moved to Illinois, like in the 70s,
Yeah.
my grandfather, all of them became Cubs fans. So they'd go to Wrigley. They're from Nuevo León, and in Nuevo León, baseball's huge.
Yeah.
Like I had an uncle playing the Little League World Series when he in like the
Oh,
60s.
shit.
Yeah. So we
Badass.
grew up like loving baseball. So they took us to the Cubs games first, and then you become a fan of whatever you
first
remember
team.
as a kid.
Yeah.
And
That's
but
exactly-
but overall, we love, like Eric, my dad loves sports. We're just a big sports family. We played sports. I played sport. In a high school, we won a state championship.
Nice.
So yeah, I watch sports, play sports, not very cool sports anymore because I'm getting old and scared of
Now
tearing
you
my
play
knees
pickleball.
The
up.
knees are-
Pickleball,
Hey.
yeah, that is, yeah. Now
Look it up, guys. Look it up.
Yeah,
Dave is
Google-
like all
yeah.
sectional right now.
Yeah,
Pickleball.
yeah. It's good to get out and sweat and work out,
Yeah,
even
for
for your health, your mental health too. Like just clearing your brain, man, sweating it out. Everyone's goes through stuff, especially during COVID and the ever changing shit of every day of the stuff that's happening. So it's good to get a nice workout in, and I found this sport that makes me sweat and not too popular. Or I get roasted by my buddies for playing it because
Well, you're gonna make it popular, man.
It's a fun sport anybody
Yeah.
can play. It's the fastest growing sport in the world.
There you go.
Yeah, no,
Fuck.
straight up.
I'm
it is.
in.
No,
Sign
it's
me
good.
up.
Yeah. So yeah,
We are very competitive ourselves, but my right shoulder's fucked up, so I can't. I won't
yeah,
be able
That's
to.
what happened when you get the COVID shot.
Yeah,
you got the booster. Oh no,
I haven't gotten the booster yet.
I'm going
But-
tomorrow.
But when you're going for your booster?
Yeah, for my booster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn, it's weird times, man. But yeah, I've been reading so many articles about, how to deal with, a lot of anxiety because of the COVID, especially, and the number one thing is workout.
Yeah.
Just go work out, clear your mind, do some cardio, do something, do something that helps out.
And for me, I like meeting people and talking to people, and it's a whole different network of people to meet. And I don't do it for that reason, but you just meet all these cool people too with anything. I go out a lot. We go out to bars with my buddies or my wife or my father-in-law and I go out a lot, and I'll just talk to anybody because I like shooting the shit.
Yeah.
When you work hard, like everybody in our team does, like it's good to just go disconnect and talk about tequila or fucking the Bulls. So
The Bears suck.
yeah. At least Fields is playing this weekend.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's starting because I think he's hurt for some reason.
Well, how do you feel about the Bears, man? Let me pick your brain on that very quickly here. Like, honestly, do you think it's
It's an ownership issue, man.
Okay, that's where I
it's
was
an
going.
ownership issue. They don't want to let go of the team. We got to go in a different direction. The owner, she's like 90-something years old.
Tell me about it, man.
Everything that gets put out in the media, they were going to fire the coach, and they're not going to fire. It just feels like it's like a cluster fuck.
Yeah,
It makes everything dampens the mood.
Yeah,
period, I
and
think.
we're,
Yeah.
then Nagy comes out talking about not starting Justin Fields, and we might. Oh, Andy Dalton's the guy. It's like, dude, we just moved up and probably got a guy that should have been a top 3 pick. Start him.
Mm-hmm.
If you see Peyton Manning's numbers his first season, awful.
Horrible.
I think it's the most interceptions like ever thrown. And then the next season, he was like in the MVP race. Like you got to get these kids out and playing. And Fields is legit. But for me, it's when they started talking about moving the team to Arlington Heights, I was like, let's do it. I live closer there. It'll be easy to get to.
yeah.
We'll open up a restaurant right by,
Fuck
yeah.
yeah.
And I thought about it. I was like, it'd be exciting to have them out in the burbs with more space, parking, a casino.
Yeah, it's not
So-
less of a headache getting out of there.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, did you catch a article about how they were also talking about having 2 Chicago teams?
No.
Expand. They're looking into expansion.
I mean, New York has it.
Yeah.
California, God knows how many teams they have. They're a way bigger state, but I think we have the fan base for it.
Sure.
And I think you have a lot of disgruntled fans as well.
That's number one thing, I think,
Yeah.
right? People are going to be like, well, fuck these guys.
Yeah.
They don't want to change, so let's us make a change then.
Like, picture getting like a young owner, like the Jaguars have, the father and the son. I forget, they own that AEW wrestling too. They're cool. You got to look these guys. They're dope. They're exciting, man. Their social media is exciting. The way that they announce stuff's exciting. They stink this year.
Yeah.
But to get like some new
That's
blood
Jacksonville?
the Jaguars, yeah. That guy's
They don't have that owner, the Indian dude?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, him. Okay,
him and his
with
son.
the big mustache?
Yeah.
And
And then his son, he does a bunch of podcasts that I listen to.
I did not know they had AEW.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
and it's like
man.
taking. Yeah, and I used, growing up in like the Attitude Era of wrestling, like
Right.
we used to watch that shit all the time growing up, jumping off our couches, doing the fucking
Fuck
elbows,
yeah. Elbow
drop.
drop.
Yeah.
elbow drop. That was a finishing move somehow, right?
Flexing your little brother and shit.
Oh, the DDT. We used to DDT my little brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Jake the Snake.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. That was his move.
That was his move, man.
But there is definitely a fan base. It's a huge market. We're top 4 market in the United States. Mm-hmm. There's space for it, and I think there are. You'll have the old school Bears fans stick around, but bring in some new blood, something different, it'd be dope.
Yeah, they gotta figure it out, man. They gotta figure. I remember when we did one of the very early podcasts. Somebody asked me. I think it was one of these early ones, and they're like, "Hey, you think they're gonna ever draft Justin Fields?" And I remember. Now I kind of regret it, right? Because I said I doubt it. He's black. I mean, no disrespect, but I just never thought the Virginia was going to go ahead and draft that guy.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Maybe she don't even know what's going on
right now. Maybe she doesn't know.
At 90-something years old, they probably told her.
I mean, what was her? So her father was Hallis, right? So her dad bought the Bears for like probably hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe $1 million or $2 million. Now the team's worth $4, $5, $6 billion.
Yep.
I wouldn't care too much on what was happening if I just made, if I'm 95 years old, I'm sure she's got other things to address. But yeah, I still watch every week.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see how Justin Fields plays, and I'm a fan. But yeah, just from the coaching to the ownership, it just seems like something's missing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Nagy looked okay. I heard a crazy stat this morning where it said the Bears are 29-21 when Trubisky was playing, and anyone who's not Trubisky is 8-18. And I thought that was kind of crazy.
They throw those stats out but if you watch Mitch play, he would miss guys by like 5, 6, 7 yards, like open guys. You see Fields spin the ball, and he puts it on people's hands. Mitch, and we had a good team. We had a great defense. We had a good offense too. But the people that say that we didn't give Mitch a chance, I think we did.
Shot.
He would miss. You see Mooney now catching balls 50 yards downfield. When the hell did we do that with Mitch Trubisky?
Right.
And
Justin got no receivers this season at all. Either.
Mooney's good though, man.
Mooney is good.
Mooney's good. I don't know what happened to Allen Robinson. He fell off the
Is he out already or something?
I don't know if they pulled him out, but he got 0 fantasy points for me last week. So I was fucking
he must
pissed.
be out.
Yeah, he's out. Fuck yeah, he's out.
He's out in my books.
He's out on
I'm
your
dropping
team.
his ass.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Hopefully they'll figure it out. If not, we're just gonna have to go cheer for the new team. I mean, if they do bring in the expansion, they were just saying it because Soldier Field would be there, and it's a good destination to add the expansion. I think there's enough people here in Chicago to go and get them.
Oh yeah,
and cheer them on. But so you're a Cubs guy. You're not too much. Sox are looking good. I told my buddies the other day. Now I know what the Cub fans feel because I find myself cheering the Bears on every week, even though they suck. And
no, it was tough for a while, man.
They don't even cover, man. They don't even cover the goddamn spread.
Oh, no, they're awful. Yeah, no.
And then go for the under all the time, right?
By the most.
Like they're averaging like 20 points a game.
Yeah,
I mean,
how fun is this like live betting stuff too?
That's where I make my money, man.
You chase.
I never fucking bet prior to start.
Yeah, you watch a little bit, you get a feel for the game a little bit, and then you go on DraftKings or Barstool. And, oh, yeah, no, it's fun. It definitely changed. I see a lot more fans now watching because now with the live betting, it's fun. As long as you got the money to do it and you're not betting more than you should. Yeah, but to entertain yourself, like we go out for drinks, me and my buddies, and we all got our phones out. And it's all right, let's do this, and it's fun.
Yeah.
But it's definitely changed the way I think everybody watches sports now.
today I placed a bet before the game started, and before I got here, the Bulls were losing. Are they still losing? You think?
They were
Jose, let me know if the Bulls are still losing.
And they were 3-point
basketball,
underdogs
Jose.
today for some reason.
Correct.
Against
Yeah,
Cleveland.
I didn't know why. They were like a plus 140.
I think they had a couple dudes out with
Why no?
COVID.
Caruso's not out.
And then the other, I forgot the guy's name, another white guy that I just saw play the other day. I'm like, oh, he's good. And now he's out with COVID.
Just let me know.
No.
They got
Isn't that
killed.
crazy how Vegas knows this stuff, too? Like, you've watched the Bulls play 2 nights ago and beat, who did we beat? So we beat Brooklyn, then we came back and beat somebody else without DeRozan.
Yeah.
And then when I saw the spread today, it's like, how does Vegas know? Like, that's what, like, the trap
And they're
game.
so on point, man, with the point spreads.
Yeah.
You're like,
No,
God
Vegas
damn it, I
Vegas
lost by half
doesn't
a
lose
point.
often, and when they do, they'll make it back eventually.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll string you back in, man.
Oh, yeah.
They'll be bringing
They
you right
always
back
do.
in. Let me get that lighter going.
I lost it.
So going back a little bit to the tequila. So no Kendall for you. No Elon Musk for you either.
No.
No.
You know, honestly, there's like, 3-4 families in Jalisco that make it
Strictly
the way
that,
that and I've met them too through Tequileria, the restaurant that we have, and gotten to go out there. We live in, we have a house in Jalisco, so just meeting these people and being like, and like the Caso Humilde guys brought up, like, people support them because, like, would you rather go help out Kendall Jenner make another $1 billion, or would you rather go
She
help
has
out
enough.
people that actually are cultivating the land, doing it themselves? It's a family business. Like, we're a family business, so I appreciate when people choose me over going to a big chain. You know.
Yeah.
So I try to do the same, and and the juice is good. But yeah, so Fortaleza, Tesoro de Don Felipe is one of my favorites.
Of course.
G4. So these are brands that you don't have to spend a lot of money on tequila. You don't need a bell on top of it to make you
To make it look good.
Yeah, you know. Like, look at this bottle. It's nice. There's nothing to it.
Right.
It's what's inside of it. So that's what I'm trying to spend money on. Whatever's on the inside, and support the legit, like, families that do it.
Yeah. And as far as Tequileria, right now you brought it up, is it back up and running, or are you guys still taking your time with that?
So we're actively pursuing opening it.
Okay.
Obviously, right now, through COVID, at first it was like meat prices, and then it was, not going in and dining in. So then we were waiting,
Right.
but we had the team to open, and now it's staffing.
Staffing, that's something I want to talk to you about. And that's restaurants. That's just not a Tequileria. That's also affecting you with the restaurants.
Well, yeah. It's a hospitality thing too.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, you got a taste of not working the weekends during COVID. Mm-hmm. So and it's hard. It's not an easy, line of work. Serving people and stuff. Sometimes you got to swallow your pride a little bit, but there's benefits to it for sure. But I think it's just a weird time in the workforce. People like working from home when you have that possibility. But for us, staffing's tough. But luckily, man, we have a lot of family that work with us, a lot of people that have been loyal 15, 20 years with us. So we're fine. But trying to find new talent, tough. And to run Tequileria, we took a lot of pride opening up that place in Melrose Park because that's where we're from.
Correct.
So I want to do it justice, and I want to have the right guy or girl run it.
Yeah.
And, I got 2 little kids. Those 2 a.m., end of the night type of thing's tough.
Yeah.
So I would love to run it myself, but we're spread pretty thin right now. But I'm actively looking. So if anybody's listening and loves tequila and wants to, figure out or, learn a lot about the restaurant industry, we're looking for people specifically for Tequileria.
Very cool.
And it's a music venue. We want to go back. We've had some awesome musicians go through there, and now I get to see them perform at different spots. Ramos was on not American Idol, but like
America's Got
Do a
Talent.
Did you do a halftime show?
he did
He did
the
the
Bears.
Bears.
National
Yeah.
anthem for
And
the Bears,
I was gonna be his +1, and then he said, "Hey man, I'm gonna take a photographer instead." So if you're listening, Ramos,
You're like, man, I'll take pictures.
fuck you, man. No, I'm just kidding. No. I wanted,
Like, I got the new iPhone. What the fuck?
I got the 3 cameras on the back of my iPhone, man. I get you from all distances and stuff. No.
Wide angle, all that shit.
But
Portrait
no,
mode.
so so we missed Tequileria. My dad misses it too. I think
Yeah.
it was a very intoxicating environment. It was fun. It was like it would like absorb you. It was just it was very
Kind of
romantic.
addicting in a way.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. You walk in there, there's a vibe. You don't expect it. You
Right.
walk in there, you're like, oh shit. Everything that we got in there was from Jalisco, made over there, brought over. My dad. We put a lot of time and love into that place. So we're shooting for realistically February, March.
Okay.
And we want to do maybe Friday, Saturdays only. live music, ambiance, cocktails, maybe some light, tapa style food. But we want to open it back up. We have the building, the space is there. I have a bunch of tequila. I've drank a lot of it in the last year and a half.
You're like, I need to stop that.
I text Eric. I'm like, hey, Eric, why is there 2 bottles missing from the back bar at Tequila? He's like, oh, yeah, no, I went to go pick some up. So we've been slowly chipping away at it.
Dwindling down in the back part of the bar.
But it'll be back. We just have to find some people that are as passionate with tequila.
Sure. Yeah.
And with serving people, man. I take a lot of pride in showing people a good time. So I got to find the right people for that, and we'll be back.
I hear you talk about, staff and the right people, the right person. People have asked me before, what do you consider in what we do, one of the hardest things, right? And I always answer, to me, it's always very hard to develop a very good team.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the same with you? Like, especially now that the staffing is short, do you see it the same way? Like, do you think the team needs to also think the way you think in a way and have the same vision and and ambiance and do whatever they got to do?
It's tough. It's a different environment where, you go see a sign down the street that says, hey, come work in 3 months, we'll give you $1,000 signing bonus.
Right.
So, but what it has done, I think, is empowered the team that we do have, because then I start seeing people that aren't gaming the system and taking advantage of that kind of stuff. And so for me, it's like I saw who the real people on our side were, because, it is enticing. You know what? I'll go work down the street and, a different environment, but they're going to pay me $500 the first week. So it's hard to build. It's harder to maintain it, I would say. Luckily, it's we've been doing it for 22 years.
Right.
I've been doing this since I'm 14 years old. Luckily, my dad and my mom, it's a family business. So I think there's pros and cons to it. But a lot of the pros is, we're hands-on every day. So you're not working, like I said, for a huge corporation where, people clock out like, fuck those guys type of shit. So with us, they see where the money goes. They see that we're doing stuff in the community. They see that we're doing the Mexico en el Corazón, and we're doing events to give back. So I saw the team kind of come together with us too.
Right.
But to garner new talent has been difficult.
Yeah.
And we're we want good people around us. Honestly, we do. We take a lot of pride in the fundraising stuff that we do, or the not-for-profit work that we do, and we like that our staff is included and helps. I mean, they donate. I mean, it's a family business. It's not just the people that are blood family. Like, honestly, some of these people have been with us through thick and thin, through 2008 when the economy crashed.
Yeah.
And you're selling 20% of what you used to. So it's tough, but for me, it's really the people that we have, treating them right. And treating them how I would treat anybody.
Right.
We're pretty transparent with everything we do.
You beat me to it, man.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that.
And I've just heard you use that word a lot. It's just if you're transparent and people understand you're not trying to fuck them over ever. And that's, but that comes through, that's the way my dad showed me, and that's the way my mom showed me. So I'm straight up with people. So I think, sometimes it works in your favor. I don't like playing the games of, mind games and trying to do the long, no, let me just tell you straight up, this is what's wrong, this is what we need to fix. Or this is what you're doing great, right? Because we're passionate about what we do, man. We serve people food that we make and they put in their mouths, like that. You have to gain people's trust to do that. So we got to trust our staff too to do a good job. And so, but right now it's just a weird time, man. Staffing is crazy, but luckily we got a solid core team. But we're running around all 3 restaurants, and so we had plans, so do more. But right now it's pump the brakes a little bit, figure out what's going to happen.
Maintain everything at a good level.
Yeah, man, and focus a lot on what we have, because you almost saw it slip through your hands. I mean, we almost saw it. That was tough.
That's a great point, man.
So for me, even my dad, you refocuses you a lot, because if we don't have the Comales Melrose pumping out tacos at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning with people coming from Mansion and stuff, well, then there's no Mexico en el Corazón, and there's no Necahuad where we help an orphanage in Guadalajara, because that we have the freedom to do that kind of stuff because we're fortunate enough to have the restaurants selling.
Yeah.
So, but we've refocused. We've got better quality control now than ever because we got a scare like everybody did. You got a taste of shit, man. What if you can't pay the rent, or what if you can't pay your employees? So we're more focused than ever. We got a tight team, but definitely looking for more talent because we want to do more. We're like the Caso Humilde guys. I love talking to those guys because they no se quedan quietos. They're okay.
Yeah,
what are we gonna do next? Coffee, chocolate, like yeah, man.
That's
like
crazy,
that's
man.
so and it's and that's why they're so. I love talking about them and to them and with other people because it's the passion and also like yeah, why can't we do it as a Mexican American, not just a Mexican immigrant? Now it's this next generation of us. Why can't we do it? So it brings me a lot of pride. Te levanta el pinche pecho when you see people like the brothers.
It adds motivation to what you already have, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
And then, and there's a reason that everyone picks up their beer without even tasting it sometimes because you're like, dude, those guys are great. They have a cool story. They're passionate about what they do. And yeah, instead of going and giving, money to Modelo or Corona, or Pacifico, the same guys, or go, give it to people that are passionate, So I'm happy for them too. It looks like they're growing their team too, and they're branching off and all that. So I'm excited for hopefully one day they open up their own spot.
For sure.
Because he loves food.
He does.
And he knows how to cook, so I'd like to try his food out too. So
Jose, you just heard that shit.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
He had told me we gotta do steak. I want to do steak for you guys. All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jose and Javi Lopez, man.
Yes,
Those guys
absolutely,
are
man.
amazing, amazing people.
Los Compotas.
Los compotas.
Yeah.
Sí, son del kebab. I really do like the way you worded that. As far as like it was a scary time. It kind of. I think that I hear a lot of podcasts and I hear like, in particular, I'll hear like comedians say that the time gave them also time to like perfect their craft in a way, and in a way it also to appreciate what. And I think that goes for everybody. You're right, like. This happened. It shook us up.
Yeah.
Porque it's very easy to get comfortable.
For sure.
And especially I think I could be wrong, right? But I think that when it's successful, it's kind of like we're good.
Yeah.
And that goes for everyone. I mean, the athletes, anyone who it is.
I agree.
They're an injury away as we are. A
pandemic.
Financial, a pandemic away from shit just going back to zero in a way.
It definitely. Refocus. And it was, what do? You can either, stay home and get scared about it, or you fucking put your shoes on, go to work, scared about catching COVID the first couple of weeks because you didn't know what it was going to do.
Yeah.
And then try to sell food to people in any way you can, curbside. Then we built the 2 drive-thrus.
I seen that.
During COVID, right away, because we opened up Addison, talk about it.
Okay.
We were there like a month watching it, working it, and then my dad's like, "Hey, I'm out of here. Stay here. We're working. I'm gonna go put 2 drive-thrus at the other 2 restaurants.
Wow.
Like this is the future of our business. We need to get when our food's good, but if we can get it to you fast in a drive-thru, authentic Mexican taqueria food, like
with not a lot of contact in a way right now.
Yeah. And I have 2 kids. You have a son. Like getting them in and out of the car too. Like you start to realize stuff as the older you get, where you're like, man, this is nice to just. Pull up, people are on their phones in the drive-thru. You get your food, you go home, you eat it, and
it's modern times, Dave. Right?
Yeah.
Like I just feel like it's nothing like our parents' time. Like now, everyone, like you just mentioned right now, the new generation, our generation, the time is cut short to a lot of us. We're running around. We're fucking, we're cutting everything 10 minutes back so we can, catch up.
Correct.
So drive-thrus. Ubers, the whole DoorDash. Yeah, man. That is the future. That I think that's where it's going. That was a great move on your guys' behalf.
And his straight up, I was very hesitant because the one in Melrose.
Meet your dad, man.
Yeah, no, oh yeah, he's down to he's
ahead of the curve.
He's just he's 62, 61. He's now experience meets knowledge meets he's still young and he wants to do more.
Right.
Where sometimes I don't or you're so caught up when you got the tree, you're in the forest, but the tree's right in front of your face.
I like that.
You can't see everything else, so he's allowed himself to step back. Look at everything because when you're doing the day-to-day stuff, hey, se nos va a acabar la tortilla. We need to go get bread. We got to cut meat. It's hard to see the big picture. So he's a huge big picture guy, which you need. I know that you do that a lot with your organization. You need someone thinking about the future. So we just opened up the restaurant. So we're busy. We're trying to, I'm talking to every customer. And he's like, shit, we have to put a drive-thru at the other restaurants. And he left and then drew it up. And the one in Melrose is wild. Yeah. It's a wild drive-thru. But it works, luckily because we own the building next door.
Right.
People have to cut through an alley, but It works, you know. So we're gonna
Have you
get
seen
you.
it, compa?
No, I haven't
No?
seen it.
It's.
I haven't seen it.
I'll send you the a picture of we did a map of it. It's wild.
Little maze.
Yeah, because you go in
It's a
kind of like
maze.
through a little like a tequileria
Yeah,
driveway.
and
per
it was
se.
a one way, and the mayor was kind enough to change the one way so it's a two way just at that little piece.
Shit,
But we also
nice.
own. That's where I grew up. So we own the houses there. So luckily
Yeah.
it doesn't affect anybody but
Oh.
our homes.
Yeah.
But then you go through the tequileria, go over the alley. So
Yeah.
the cool thing is we talked about this on the guac pod. My father figures out ways to make things happen. Sometimes they don't have to be perfect. They just have to be somewhat practical. And once people try it once, okay, now you know how it works. And now you can sit in your car, order tacos, and have them in 3-4 minutes, So
You get to the window, and I mean, the times I've been there at 2:30 in the morning.
yeah.
You fucking order. You go over the little alley that he's saying.
Yeah.
You go to the window and you're done.
Yeah, you're good.
You're done.
Yeah.
I've never had to wait more than fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Probably is a max.
Yeah.
Badass.
No, so but we needed that,
Yeah.
because now every new variant that comes out, people do get scared, and rightfully so. People have lost a lot of people to the virus.
Yep.
So for us, if we can serve you safely, quickly, and we can get you on your way to go home and feed your family, man,
Yeah.
for us, it's great.
What's up with how do you I'm going to segment into that. How do you feel about the whole COVID, man? How did you in the beginning you just said we were all scared.
Yeah.
I picked up on that, and how do you feel about it now after almost 2 years?
We lost family members to it,
Yeah.
so it's one of those things that it is scary. Still,
It's real, right?
It's real, yeah, there's
you
not,
still get the that shit ain't real.
yeah,
Like, nah, that's real, bro.
and it's been so politicized, unfortunately.
Yeah, I
and now
agree.
you have people, thinking they're smarter than doctors. Okay, for me, I like my doctor that I just met yesterday. I haven't been to a doctor in like
Hadn't
15
been to a
years.
doctor in
Yeah,
15
but
But I like that guy anyway.
yeah, but
the
even
best.
or your son's pediatrician,
Right.
Okay, he went to school for this. I like him. He's been taking care of my sons for 4 years. I'm gonna trust what he says. I'm gonna do a little bit of research, but I sell tacos for a living, tequila, and do live music events. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not, but it's been very politicized, and for me, it's. I think everyone could wish that we could wish this away, but it sounds like it's going to be around for a while. We have to take care of ourselves, take care of the people that are definitely more susceptible to getting very sick from it.
Right.
But it sucks, man. We haven't done a Mexico en el Corazón for 2 years in person.
Right.
It sucks. Now they're looking at dates next year already for Millennium Park, but it's
I was
gonna
about to
ask-
ask.
Yeah.
I was hoping that
Is that
they're
so?
bringing that
Does
back.
that look like it might happen though?
they're pushing it.
Oh, okay,
They're
that's good.
asking us for what dates we want. So we're gonna go and try to do it.
yeah.
I think
do
by
it.
that time we might have 5 boosters already in our system. So hopefully,
Yeah.
and whoever feels comfortable going, great. And whoever doesn't, I understand.
Right.
But for us, it's like we want to show off the culture, we want to show off the music, and if we have the ability to get a venue like Millennium Park again, we wouldn't be doing our job, I think, to everybody not doing it.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
So yeah, we're gonna try to do it. It's my dad's constantly working on Mexico en el Corazón, and he's going to Guadalajara in a couple weeks to film a live over there
Oh, nice.
at Cabañas. It's a beautiful museum there in Guadalajara. So I forgot which mariachi he's getting, but it's his passion, and it became my passion too. I love the culture, all of it, the mariachi to the bandas to the Grupo Firmes and Maluma.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Tequila.
man. Grupo Firme and Maluma came out today.
I
man.
know.
Jesse
Yeah.
likes that.
Have not heard it.
I
I'll be
heard
honest.
it. It's not bad.
It's
not
decent?
bad.
It's good.
not bad.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, and it's just cool. It's like to have that collab.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I wanted to hear it and be like, nah, but I heard it and I'm like,
Yeah, it's a banger. It's good.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me hear it, man.
You listen to
I
it.
always like.
What
to
are
wait
your
on
thoughts
those.
on Grupo Firme?
I like Grupo Firme. I like everything about them as far as like the business aspect. I love the route. I think it's way different than what we were used to as far as like recordings.
Yeah.
I think that everything became looser in that aspect.
Okay.
You get to listen to like these live albums with like Firme and a lot of other ones where there's some mistakes in there.
Sure.
Musically.
Yeah.
And back in the day, that was kind of like, nah, you can't have mistakes.
Yeah.
And now it's like, no, well, people like that fucking, we're prone to mistakes
Parties,
as it
yeah.
is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of my take on it. Like, people want to hear, they rather listen to your to your faulties or faults as far as like little mistakes like that musically than something like too studio maybe.
Yeah,
That's the big difference for me. And for Firme, I like that the Edwin guy. Obviously, I don't know him or anything, but that guy looks like he's a genius. Like he knows exactly what he wants. He knows exactly how he wants to do it.
Yeah.
He's signing guys. He's
Oh, is he?
he's signing bands. Like the whole
Music-
label that they have.
Music VIP, yeah, that's it.
Music VIP is him and another guy.
Oh, okay.
Isael. And then they're signing people. And then I also heard a pod where he bought a song, one of the big hits. He didn't write it. He bought it off some dude.
But
I
it
forgot what
is-
the name. It's one of the big hits.
El amor no fue para mí? No.
No. It's a corrido.
Yeah. El Roto.
El Roto.
Yeah.
Oh,
El
yeah.
Roto, like,
I was watching that the
that's
other day.
he's the author on it
Yeah.
and he's a publisher, but he didn't write it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, this fucking guy,
Smart.
he knows what he's doing.
And they're everywhere, man. So for me, it's interesting. I'm, just to see how it's such a hot button.
Did you
with
go see them?
No.
Okay.
Eric, my brother's a fan. I mean, I think everybody that hears their music, that likes music, is a fan at some point because it is. Son desmadrosos, they're fun, they're funny, and now they're pushing the envelope a little bit with like the hair and the brother got engaged on stage. So but that's where things are. It's evolving.
That's where it's going, man.
It's evolving,
Yeah.
and instead of having like the old school
Macho.
like it's evolving, and I like that for our culture too, because it has to keep evolving, and it looks like they're pushing it.
Yep.
You know,
I don't know what their numbers are, but I would want to say that they gained, if not hundreds of thousands, millions when they did the whole brother engagement, and
yeah,
that's
yeah, for sure.
that's a whole new genre per se.
Yeah,
no
and
offense, but a whole new audience.
and that's beautiful, man. To
Yeah.
open your arms up to that community, that's nice, man. Because why not? Yeah, not all the corridos have to be about machismo and
mafia. and
mafia.
chingada.
Yeah, like that.
I get it. Yeah.
So it's interesting. Everyone has pretty much like a hard take on that group. I've never seen them
Yeah.
live, but they're all over our social media and stuff like that. Every time I open up my TikTok, it's
I don't know. Unfortunately, do you think it's a human trait, or do you think it's more of a Mexican thing where it's the hatred? Like you just said, people talk bad about them. I mean, why not be happy for them?
You
right?
brought this up on the podcast I was listening to on the way here, where it's like that. What is the cangrejo thing, right? Well,
Oh yeah, we
where
brought
like
that
you
up.
see
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
somebody doing well, and fuck no, man, come back down. I don't want to see you succeed. I think it's. My dad says it a lot too. I think he's a lot more with his generation, but it is like a Mexican thing.
I think so.
Where you see like the Jewish people back in the day. How did they become the owners of all these banks? They would help each other out. They would lend each other money within themselves and now they're a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And with Mexican people, it is tough. It's like la desconfianza is heavy in our community.
Desconfianza.
Yeah, or always skeptical about everything. And I didn't learn that. I didn't learn about that until I think the last time we spoke. I told you I worked at El Estadio. My dad had a pool hall.
Correct.
And I met all these like OG Mexican dudes, like awesome guys, with funny ass names like Gringa, El Kilos, El Valle, and I wasn't exposed to that growing up. And then I would see that, you would do something kind for them, and they're like, why are you doing that? Where's El Gancho? What are you trying to get from me? It's like, no, man, I'm just doing it because I want to do it. And that's where I picked up on a lot of that. It's not stereotypical because I think it's true to a sense. Those stereotypes live in our community where, the people talk, shit without needing to, so it stinks, because I'd rather be like how we are, where it's like I see someone doing well, how can I help them do better if I can, or if they come to me for help, cool. There's, even the other taquerias, there's enough tacos for everyone to go around.
Of course.
I want to see all these other guys succeed too, because, the more people out buying tacos, the more they're going to stop at my place too. So it is what do you think about it? Do you think it's
I
a Mexican?
agree.
Yeah.
I think that I think that it is a Mexican thing. I also been, I listen to a whole bunch of podcasts, and I listen to how like all these hip hop guys have been collabing, since like early '90s, and the collab in the regional is just starting now. It's barely starting now. I mean, so you can only imagine how late we're to that party.
Yeah.
But I think it comes with the generation. I mean, the back in the day generation, they were not having it. Fuck the collab. Like, I gotta come up.
Yeah, I
of
remember
thing.
we did something with we had Stan's Donuts. So they're
shit.
we had Stan's Donuts
Stan's,
at Taco About It. So we did a collab with them, but the same thing. I remember like selling it to my dad, like, "Hey, Dad, we're gonna do this." He's like, "Pero pues por qué?" Like, I don't. But he gets it too. But I think he was more like, "Tell me the reason this is gonna benefit all of us."
Right.
And it is that, but it is an old school mentality. Like, no, let's not talk about anybody else but us. Fortunately, my dad's and my mom too. They understand things evolve, and now these collabs, and even with food, man, you're seeing places collab with other food places.
Yeah.
Now we're open to do stuff like that, So it's evolving, and I think for the best.
Yep.
And but definitely, the old school vibe. I think it's interesting to see how our parents grew up with that.
Yeah.
Abrazando todo, like this is mine. Don't come near it. So
it's very territorial in a way, right?
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I have kids, and now it's like, all right, what do I want to show them about, how we are as the Suarez family or as your dad. So it's you see it with a different perspective now on what you're going to pass down to your kid too. It's like
how he's gonna be seeing you guys. I bring that up as well because with my dad's very a free speaker per se, and we have to check him every now and then. Like, hey man.
Can't say
the
that.
wives are here.
Yeah.
You gotta cool it. But he's just, all his life. You know, he just speaks what's on his mind.
Yeah.
It can be borderline offensive to some people, right?
I got a tia like that. She's like, well, oh yes, you gained weight. Oh, why would you say that? Oh, well, it's true. Well, it's true.
La novia?
Yeah. Well, it's true. Okay, just because it's true, you don't have to say it. Like, know. But so definitely, it's just the free speakers, and there's consequences. Unfortunately, when it comes. I've had my foot in my mouth plenty of times, where then you learn to be like, shit, man, I have to watch what I say.
What's your take on the whole cancel culture, man? Like, I mean, how do you see this?
It's tough, man. I think, with Chappelle, like they came at him hard, but obviously I think he was feeding into it a lot with the whole trans jokes and stuff like that.
But did you watch the special?
I did.
And what did you think?
It was probably my least favorite of his specials.
It wasn't funny.
No, it wasn't that funny. And I love Dave Chappelle.
But
I got to see him, like, he was like, we went to a fight in Vegas. He was like 3 rows.
Oh, I'm gonna bring up Vegas.
Yeah. I was like starstruck because I love Dave Chappelle, but I was underimpressed with his last one. And the cancel culture thing, it's tough, man. We all have said stuff that you're not proud of when you're 21 drinking with your buddies, and and now the thing is everything gets recorded, and you should watch what you say. You should, but it's tough, man, because I've seen it both sides. I've seen people that deserve to be absolutely canceled, and then you see people like Portnoy from Barstool.
Yeah.
Guy beat it. These ladies came out.
They're going at him hard too.
And they wrote a nasty piece about him, and he went and addressed it like head on.
Yep.
He got proof, and people started wanting to defend him. So started sending like, "Hey, dude, she said this. Here's a video of it."
Yeah.
And he beat it. So you see the other side. Like, he could have been canceled. He could have lost his company. He would have to go into hiding pretty much.
Yep.
And instead they got, so it's tough, man, because there are people that just want to cancel people. But but then there's cases that you see too that you're like, man, I can't believe that guy did that. Like Louis C.K.
Yeah.
And now he's still touring. He got canceled. They have great media teams, and then they go away for a little bit, and then they come back, and they're so it's tough, man. It's scary, I think, for a lot of people. But the people that do shitty shit should be exposed, and the people that don't should be allowed to defend themselves too and defend the name that they worked hard to get. Like I love Barstool.
You're a big Portnoy guy, right?
Yeah, I love Big Cat. Big Cat's from Chicago. Yeah. He's funny. He's my age. I listen to his pod. It just resonates. It's sports and it's comedy, and they interview all the big celebrities and stuff and the athletes. And I like Barstool. I like what they do.
Yeah. Have you been? Did they do a whole Aurora thing, or where are they at now?
There's one in Aurora.
Yeah.
There's one in
No,
Aurora.
I haven't gone.
No.
I've met a couple of the
He
guys.
was there, right?
He went.
When they opened, I think.
Yeah.
Portnoy was
Oh
there.
yeah, they come out. So I just think they're funny guys, and it's interesting to hear their perspective on stuff because Portnoy is a personality and a half, So to see somebody like that who interviewed Trump, which obviously was super nuts, but he's like, I would do any. So he's just somebody that's interesting to watch, because he marches to the beat of his own drum,
for sure.
And I like the way he addresses certain things. So, but yeah, love the.
And he's a stock genius too, man.
Yeah. He went at that Robin Hood guy hard as fuck
Yes, he
too,
did.
and he should have, man. That was
Yeah.
shady.
Nobody else fucking went after him.
No, because there's so much
I'm
money.
glad he did.
Yeah, there's so much
Fuck
money
yeah.
involved, and people don't want to ruffle feathers, and at the end of the day, those all those Robin Hood stock guys, we all picked up on that stuff. It was
that was
fun.
on about the whole GameStop, right?
Yeah,
Back
where they
in the
paused.
squeeze.
They kept pausing the buying.
Yeah.
You could just sell it, and so it was. So I appreciate people like that just watching, and I'm not saying I agree with everything he says or does, but they're entertaining to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're a big Portnoy guy as well, man.
Yeah. I fuck with him. I love his fucking pizza reviews. I'm a pizza guy. I'm a pizza guy, so
Yeah,
that's
they're
my
great.
main
Have you
thing
had
with
his
him.
pizza? Didn't he just come
I
up
have
with a
not
pizza?
tried.
They're all the Walmarts now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't even fucking
Well,
seen it.
when they came out, they fucking
sold
they
out.
sold out
Yeah.
across the fucking country. And
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, he's
And
a monster, man.
Yeah, he's
That's what he is.
He's
a fucking
huge.
monster.
Yeah. We had brought it up. And you're like, hey, don't let us fucking forget. Dude, you were right behind some pretty big stars in the fucking boxing event. Which fight was that?
Canelo's fight, versus Plant.
Just
Yeah,
sitting
it was
right next to
Canelo.
Mike Tyson and shit. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, how was that? I mean, you've done fights before.
I've done one fight before. It wasn't a great one, maybe 15 years ago. We're sports fans for sure. Canelo's from our town in Jalisco. He's from Juanacatlan.
shit.
Okay.
That's where my dad was born. There's 5,000 people. He's from there. So I run
he
it.
is, ahí.
Yeah, es de ahí. They say Guadalajara now, but he's from there, and we got the opportunity to go. His team invited us. So yeah, those tickets. I don't think I could have. I don't think I would. I don't know. They seem pretty expensive, but we got invited. His cousin,
so awesome.
his cousin Memo's his manager, and he's friendly with my dad and me now and Eric. And we're trying to do stuff with them too. They want to collab on some stuff.
Yeah.
And I think La Confianza's there because they're from my hometown. They know who my dad is and all the stuff that we do socially and culturally. And he's sharp, man. I mean, this Canelo, people, saying like you were talking about, people talk shit about everybody, but people really hit their finger at him a lot. And
it's another guy.
or like LeBron, or I put him on the LeBron spectrum too, where LeBron hasn't had one misstep in 20 years. This kid came out as the number one, he has to live up to being the next Michael Jordan, and he has to a certain, I mean, not Jordan, but 1B.
yeah.
Not 1A, but 1B. And
That's how you know we're old, bro.
yeah.
All these new kids, they'll be like LeBron. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No. There's nobody like Jordan, but then Canelo's squeaky clean, man. He's got a good image.
And
he's
that's
sharp
tough for being Mexican.
And-
I don't mean it in a bad way.
No,
but,
man, and I
you
know
what
the
I'm
other
saying?
people from Juanacatlan. It's really tough there. I mean, we're partiers,
Yeah,
drinkers.
it's
I know how I am.
Yeah, exactly. I know how I am when I go down there. No, it's tough, and he's made it, man. He's a megastar now.
Yeah, he
and
is.
we started talking with them
yeah.
2 years ago about some different opportunities and stuff. And I remember telling my dad, my friend, I grew up in Melrose Park, moved to Elmhurst, so I have a lot of white friends that aren't big into boxing. I think boxing is very cultural as well and close to us because of the, the Chavezes and the, Marquez and De La Hoya. But 2 years ago, he was, in my mind, he was already a megastar. But in the white community, the Caucasian community, he wasn't there yet.
Right.
And
now he's a household name.
Now he's a household name, man. He's huge. So yeah, it was dope. It was dope being at that fight.
Great fight. You went to a great fight.
It was
too,
sick, man. 10
He's the one that
rounds.
he broke his. That's the guy he fucked up his face, right?
No, that was the guy before, I think.
Shit.
Yeah, that was the guy before where he broke his face. Yeah,
Yeah, he
this
broke
one,
to the
this one,
plant
he
fight.
knocked the guy out in the 10th or the 11th plant.
Yes.
But it was cool. It was all
Good fight.
It was a good fight.
Yeah.
It was. And then he came out with the singer from Maná.
Yeah.
Singing
yeah.
El Rey.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the Mexican pride was fucking oozing out of my body. It was you can inject that shit in my veins. It was,
And you were behind Chappelle next to Tyson.
Chappelle was a little bit away. He was maybe 3 rows, but yeah, Tyson was right in front of us, and then a couple of the boxers were right in front of me too. Charlo was in front of me. So it was cool, man. It was for me. I like all that stuff. I love all the being in the midst of it and just the energy that you get. But some of the people I didn't even know who they were, but people were coming up to them, shaking their hands, and then they think you're somebody. And then they're shaking your hand, trying to meet you. And I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, what's up, man?
up,
I'll talk to you
Tyson?
later. Where's the after party? But no, it was a really cool experience, especially to do it with my brother Eric and my dad, and having someone not just from Mexico, but from exactly where your family's from.
that's
So
badass.
the pride, it was through the roof, man. So it was dope.
Fuck yeah, I saw that and fucking
know.
Poppy posted it. I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking
Oh yeah. People were texting us, but you're like, and then someone's like,
Yeah.
dude, you're on TV for like you're right. Are you right behind Mike Tyson? I'm like, I think.
Yeah.
But you get there and you're just like looking around, and it's an entire fight like that. I would recommend everyone, if you get the chance to go, even sitting anywhere. I've sat in the nosebleeds too, and it's just as fun. It's just a different experience being down there, and all the TikTokers were in front of me too. A couple guys, they were doing their dances and stuff. It was funny. Yeah,
I know you're a TikTok fan.
it's the new way to get to people. We've always been big in social media. Comales. Back in the day, we would do funny stuff, and we try to always do, the heart-shaped torta, which, popped off because of social media. So, I remember seeing TikTok like 2 years ago, and I told the young lady who ran my social media for us, I'm like, hey, we should start getting on TikTok. But it still had like a negative stigma to it, where it was like mostly just girls dancing, I think, where people thought. I remember my wife was like, hey, why do you have that app on your phone? And I'm like, I swear it's for work.
Right away, you're getting nervous.
My algorithm's messed up. I don't know why. No. I don't know what happened.
Who the fuck down what it is?
But
Poppy grabbed my phone.
Yeah, my son grabbed it. Shit. But I just saw it. It's they do a good job. They make it addicting to be on.
It's addicting as shit.
Yeah. So, but for us, it's like, how do we get to that new age of customers? How do we, stay relevant and push our product to people that want it?
Yeah.
So for us, then I told that girl, the young lady that ran it, she was kind of like, nah, it's not. I don't think it's that. Let's focus on Facebook, Instagram. And now 2 years later, I'm like, man, thank God we started at least.
Yeah.
Because it's tough to start from scratch.
Now,
but possible too. Like you had Ken Flores, the comedian you had on that I listened to, hilarious. I listened to that podcast. I go on TikTok. He's got a couple videos with hundreds of thousands of views. And then you'll like, now I want to go see Ken Flores perform, not just from your podcast, but then I saw the TikTok, saw some of his jokes, and I'm like, okay, resonates with a Mexican American from Chicago or the suburbs, like Aurora.
Yeah.
So we try to stay on it with the social media, but TikTok's been, the TikTokers right in front of me, they were doing their dances and stuff between the rounds. It was hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good fight to go to. I think I would have been starstruck right there with Mike Tyson, though, man, because that guy's he's fucking. He looks huge still for his.
And what a transformation of a guy, right? I always had a perception of him being like just not a well-spoken guy, and not
kind of ghetto-ish.
And now he does the podcast, and he's talking about it's so interesting to see how he's evolved into who he is now. And how deep thinking he is.
Yeah, man.
And you're like, wow, man. This guy really, especially after, he would get in trouble all the time. It looks like he found himself. So it's awesome to see people like that, too.
He did the Toad, bro. You're going to have to do it.
Man, you guys keep talking about that Toad. I'm interested to see.
Are you down or what? Because I'm like literally like I'm like ready to make the call like this weekend.
Where do you have to go? You have to go to Mexico to do it?
No, we can do it. We can do it here.
There's Toads here, too.
They do like a synthetic. Yeah, it's like a. Well, I know it's not synthetic. He gets the real stuff. He gets the real stuff, but
and that's the accordion player.
He gets the real,
from Vanguardia.
Yeah.
What's it, Manito?
Marito.
Yeah. He's awesome.
Yeah, that guy, man. We because of schedule conflicts and everything, he was supposed to come in here, and hopefully he still is, to tell us his experience as a. He doesn't call himself like a shaman,
like a healer, right?
I just think that he doesn't get the term in English, but that's what you would call it. But he's pretty much.
I heard that episode, and what an interesting guy.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so and I've seen him just through playing music, and I just know that like everybody in California uses him to like record like anything with accordion. He's the guy that they use, right? I didn't know how big he was until someone's like, "Hey, he did
that Big Gerardo album." Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I heard it. I was like, oh, wow, that's really awesome that Vanguardia has...
That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he just comes with this extra package where he's like...
also can kill
he's
you.
He's also like a shaman and shit.
Bonus, yeah.
Yeah, you need some clearing up. Here we go, buddy.
Wow.
But the guy told us, like, hey, round up a couple of your guys and pa que convenga, said, the whole process. It's a process.
And he kind of watches over this whole thing. Okay,
he's the guy that's going to watch over you, technically. And, some people like you are, let us know like, hey, we're a little bit interested in that.
Yeah.
Y pues todo sería obviously private. Well, our plan was for these guys to do it because I'm not one of the guys that wants to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not fully committed to it yet.
Yeah.
And they wanted to do it and then have the pot afterwards, like after
you come down
because
from
it's
it?
not like a. It's not like a long experience.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it's like a 30-minute thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, then
But
it's
it
a little more
feels
interesting
like,
to try.
It feels like a 3-hour thing or whatever it is, right?
You feel like you're.
But
out
in
there for a
reality,
bit.
it's 30 minutes or less or something like that. Don't quote me on that. Whoever's
Yeah,
listening,
I'll
like,
listen
"You're
to
a
the
fucking
podcast
dumbass."
first after you guys do it, and then think about it.
There you go.
Let's see. You guys will be the test subjects.
You'll be in the second round with it.
Yeah,
with
with
Compa.
me.
Yeah,
With
I'd love to hear what it does. You know, it's. I've heard a lot of you guys talk about it, so it's really interesting to see because a lot of that natural stuff is interesting to try.
Yeah.
But yeah, what is it? Ego killer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it gives you what they call an ego death. It
Oh, okay.
completely humbles you. You know,
Really?
I've heard. It's crazy because all the different people I've heard talk about it, and I actually just came across some fucking new podcasts that I started listening to in Spanish. 2 Mexican dudes, they're just getting high too, but they did the
Two.
fucking pod, and they did the toad, and they all explain it almost exactly alike, man.
Oh, cool,
everybody that I've heard explain it almost the same. So,
Oh, man.
I've been wanting to do this for a bit, and then today, literally, I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, I got to make this
About
happen
that time.
before the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, let us
That
know how
way-
it goes. I'm interested in seeing what
Fuck yeah,
what it does.
me too.
He also, I ran into him at Michelada Fest with Jesse. I'm going to share this quick story. I don't know if I have before, but for about an hour, I had a great conversation with Marito before they went on. And he was telling me all these experiences, which is how it came about. I wanted to bring him on to talk about it because he has great, crazy, yeah, I'll take some more. Come on, compa.
I'm good.
There's crazy experiences as far as how he cured and helped a lot of people heal and whatnot. Thank you, buddy. Hell yeah. I was going. Oh, you're drinking beer now.
Oh no, I'm drinking both.
Nah,
Amount was the first time, so I'm still sipping on it. I'm still sipping on it.
compa, we had the same fucking amount.
No, I had the most. I saw everybody.
He's younger. I'm like, let me give him
Yeah,
a little bit
okay.
extra. He can handle it. Yeah.
So bad.
Hell no.
But yeah, I told him, hey man, let's come on, and then he put me on this Netflix special called Fantastic Fungi. I don't know if it's fungi or fungi. I always say that. But if you haven't watched it,
Okay.
I highly
Fungi.
recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's he's like, I want you to see this documentary first,
Yeah.
and if you like it, you're gonna love the toad.
Is that why you're
And-
sitting there with a big ass bag of mushrooms?
Now I'm
right
here
next to
sitting
you?
with a bag of shrooms. But
Scared to take them though.
yeah, but he almost convinced me just with that, man.
Well,
'Cause-
when you hear how confident he is when he
Oh,
speaks
yeah.
about it, you're like, okay, well, if and people, people have horrible experiences that I think you guys talked about ayahuasca before.
ayahuasca, yes.
And the people go to Costa. I mean,
They go to
I know.
Costa Rica, right?
Yeah, I've met a guy that did it.
Oh shit!
And
Let's
you-
bring him on.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like how these old ways of doing drugs and people with like serious trauma.
Yeah.
And they come out of that like and there was a documentary on it too. I think I watched, and they're crying for like 6-7 hours, and then they come out of it like a new person. It's so interesting to me.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm there yet to do it, but we'll see how it goes for you guys with the toad first, and then we'll talk about all this
Yeah,
other.
man. We're gonna have to probably go to Costa Rica it's a fucking
Ayahuasca,
resort,
no,
man.
I don't know about. Oh, just to go hang out at the resort.
No,
But I heard
it's a resort that does ayahuasca.
What they compare it as, they say that when you do the toad, it's like the rocket ship version, and when you do ayahuasca, they say that's like the riverboat ride.
Yeah.
So it's slow.
Well, because ayahuasca is it's not a one-time thing. Like you have to
keep
do it
partying?
3 to 5 days in a row, kind of
I
thing.
love it.
And they kind of. I just heard this also, man. We're gonna sound like a broken record. Well, I just heard this and that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But they just talked about it. Some guy, comedian Ron White, was saying he went. He was an alcoholic, and he went to kind of kick that habit.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to accept him because you have to be 14 days sober before you can do it.
He was
Long
drunk.
story short, you go the first day. They call it death. So it's like when it shows you all the bad things about you, and then from there on out, it's the reborn part, and that's what they've said about the toad. It kind of shows you everything that you're bad at.
Yeah. Shit.
It humbles you, kind of makes you feel like shit.
Yeah. But
Just to be able to,
build you
get
back
up.
up.
Yeah.
But you guys talk about it so much, you have to do this soon.
Yeah, we do.
Because I want to know.
Marito's like, hey, I told Marito my mom has vertigo. He's like, oh, tráemela.
Toad.
Yo se lo quito
Toad.
con una sesión.
Really?
I'm like, what?
May the truth
I'm
be
like,
told.
Manito, that's my mom. What are you talking? That's my mom. You can't.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. Tráemela. I'm
Can't
like,
get her
"All right.
high.
You can't get my mom high.
Yeah, that's my mom, man.
Don't
like-
worry, she's only gonna be
He's
high
like,
for 30
es
minutes.
medicina. Es medicina. Like,
Yeah, well, he
Yeah.
don't like calling it that. Well, it's like
Yeah.
people who know.
It's
they're
not a
like,
drug,
It's not,
you
a,
know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a drug. It's not a drip.
What's
it's,
the chemical
it's a
compound in it?
5-EMO DMT.
which is ayahuasca has half a. Ayahuasca is a half of what the toad is, or something like that, right?
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Because it's 2 ingredients that you have to mix.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right as far as like I think it's way more interesting the fact that that's how they got high back in the day.
Yeah.
Like who comes up with this shit?
Or like peyote.
Peyote is another
You know,
one.
like they found a plant that oozes this stuff out, and then it fucking gets you. You know, they're dancing for like 48 hours, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Super interesting.
I think it's crazy just how it goes back to that. They had there was this other article. Oh, smoking sections out here.
Yeah, I know.
Just finished. Conjunto Sara, shout out
What's
to
the
Zara.
lie?
They just finished their practice right now.
Yes. Jamming. We're about to
they're-
go down and party.
They're about to give us some aromatics up in this motherfucker. Yes. But I had read this other thing where they had found old clay, ¿cómo se llama? Like cantaritos per se.
Sure.
Right? And they scraped off what was residue inside, and they found it to be like ayahuasca and something else.
Really?
And it's like, all right, I read so much shit just because of the rabbit holes.
Yeah.
You know, with the whole, there's another book that I read, and you know, they're saying that I mentioned this before too. You know, there's these the Catholic religion pictures where there's saints that's got the little, not the silhouette on top, but around the head.
Yes.
I don't know if
Glow.
you've seen that, the glow.
Yeah.
And this particular book, his explanation is people that had that little glow were people that were high on like pretty much like a mushroom. It's called the sacred mushroom of the something cross. I have the book out there, but
Jeez.
they were just like the people that were enlightened, quote unquote, and would give speeches because they were high on some
High
shit,
as a kite.
on some ayahuasca.
I believe it. I mean, yeah.
What is it? The sacred mushroom and the cross. Yeah.
That's the special.
That's the book.
That's
the
the
book.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a book. So I mean, the guy wrote a whole book about his theory on it, and I mean, they have so many examples. Like if you go back and you Google like Christmas pictures from the early '70s or something like that,
Yeah.
everywhere you see.
So,
I don't know if you guys see my story on Instagram. There was a big ass mushroom. Like mushrooms are such a huge part of Christmas that people don't know about.
Really?
And they started taking out all the mushrooms from all the greeting cards, all the Christmas cards. But back in the day, they were full of mushrooms, man. I just did a story on Instagram. My kid got one
Yeah.
of those. What is it called? The daily calendar.
Oh, advent calendar.
Yeah, with the chocolate one for him.
Yeah.
And on the portada of this
They're not
thing.
chocolate mushrooms, are they, compa?
No, they're not.
Oh, okay.
There's a big ass mushroom right there, and I'm like, man, here it is.
There it is.
We'll look it up later.
Do mushrooms
okay.
make you hungry at all or no?
I don't know. Do
I
they?
support any drug that makes you hungry. So
Yes.
I'm
That's true. Maybe it does. It's gotta.
I don't know.
I don't know. You're just tripping out. I think once you're in that mushroom
that is interesting though with the Catholic Church. There's so much stuff we don't know, and it's so like hidden
and everything.
and
Yeah.
locked away that we don't know anything. Have you ever been to Rome?
I have no. I have not.
Dude, you would love it.
Really?
It's really interesting. It's obviously the religion's a touchy subject, but
It is.
seeing like Rome, the Vatican.
Yeah.
It's crazy how big this place is, and it's beautiful. And the
And who
Sistine
built this
Chapel.
shit, right? Is that how you feel when you see things like this?
No, for me, I actually get kind of like upset. I'm like, man, they spent all this money on
okay.
this place when we're supposed to be like helping people and stuff like that. So I was young when I went, but now that I look back on it, I'm like, just porcelain and marble and quartz, and you're just like, dude, this is aren't they supposed to be? So I went to a Catholic
Yeah.
or my whole life,
Right.
or school, so preschool through high school. So you're exposed to it and you see the good of it, but also we went to Italy and I was like, this is really a lot of gold
Yeah.
to have, So
That's oh man.
Well, didn't they just catch that one big preacher, what's it, Olsen, that a plumber went to go do some work in one of the bathrooms and cut a hole in the wall and like 3,000 envelopes full of money came
yeah,
out.
They found like
And it's-
600K.
Yeah, they
So-
had
so
reported
shitty.
loss.
Joel Osteen.
Joel
Yeah,
Osteen,
he got like federal money, PPP money,
Yeah.
which
he
is
did.
just what a
Wow.
fucking slap in the face to
I
all
think I
of the
shared that
people that
shit.
need it. And this guy's living in like a $50 million house. He preaches and sells out like the Dallas Cowboys stadium, and he's fucking getting PPP money. He doesn't pay taxes because he's a church. It's just aggravating what happens, with the super rich and how they. But
I fucking hate it. I do. I mean, it just. I mean, it's like you said. Religion is so touchy. I like talking about it, but it's a touchy subject, man. I agree with you. The whole money part.
control.
There's too much poor in this world for them to
know.
have so much
Yeah.
rich.
They own so much property.
Yeah, man.
I mean, wherever those churches are, and they get it donated to them. And I know a lot of great priests, but I think the institution is really anything that big. That is, their mission is to help. Is tough to actually see how they spend their money crazily. When there's, like you said, there's a lot of poor. There's, when we do we do stuff to help people, and you do a little like your little granita de arena, and then you see institutions that have money, and power, and they don't do enough. I feel sometimes, but a little off topic. Sorry, but I know that you're a religion.
I love religion.
Debater.
I know you're picking
Debater.
my.
You said
You're pushing my
don't like
button right
talk
now,
about
David.
it, but
Debater.
you love talking about it, compa.
It's just so touchy for me, man. It's just so. I had put up this quote where it's something along the lines like there's a thin line between belief and or faith and like cynical reasoning per se. I misquoted that, right? But it's such a thin line with the belief and just and being cynical in a way, right? And I've seen it in different religions, and at the end of the day, unfortunately, I mean, I just feel like money has so much to do with it. Just along with everything else.
You see people that are lower middle class people going to church and then giving money to the church in an envelope. Man, your heart. I don't know. I think the older you get, the more you start to question stuff, and you're just like, what? Wait,
That's true.
What the fuck? So bizarre. But it's tradition, and it's such a large institution that people just do it like clockwork, and maybe. For some people it works, and you feel like you're doing your part, and and helping, and maybe it clears your conscience of other things that you might be, like troubled with.
I can see that.
Because I've seen it help people through death, help people. People get very, they need an outlet, and if that's that, great for you. But different strokes for different folks.
We had done this other podcast, Compas Unfiltered, and they also knew that religion gets me going.
Gets you boiled up, yeah.
And they asked me, and I just felt like, and I did get some messages like, "Oh, you're the Antichrist."
No.
And I just said, like, look, man, people need blueprints. Some people need blueprints or some guides to like live life through.
Absolutely.
And that kind of like, in their mind, makes it feel like, all right, well, I'm doing things right. Yeah, some people need that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
See, people need to hang on to something. It's not the same thing for everyone in a way, right?
I agree. Yeah,
But,
if it helps you, great. Some people find it in different ways, and
But the financials just pisses me off.
yeah, and the whole stuff with
pedophilia,
the
of
priest
course.
and all this
Yeah.
stuff. It's just having kids changes you like dramatically. And
Yeah.
then you start seeing stuff through a different like prism, and you're just like, man, shit, like all the hush hush stuff, and don't worry,
Hate
he's a
that
priest.
shit.
You have to listen to him.
Yeah.
And now, man, if my kids go to a Catholic school or something like, no, they don't have. No, you tell your dad anything, everything.
Yeah.
But back in the day, like if you spoke bad about a priest to your parents, pinche cintazo.
Yeah.
And now it's like, no, man. The open communication with your kids and stuff is important because look how many bad things have happened, and not just there. With anybody that has a power over you.
Yeah, anything.
And
Teachers.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
So I'm just, I guess I
Coaches.
right, 100%, man. And that's
man.
why the open line of communication. I keep thinking about that with my kids. They started going to kindergarten and preschool, and I'm like, shit, like, hey, you can tell me anything.
Yeah.
And I don't care who it is. You tell me in your mind anything, because you do see, like, I went to Catholic schools my whole life, and it was like we had nuns, and back in the day, they'd still hit us with a ruler in our hand.
Wow, yeah.
And you're like, holy shit, how far have we come now? Like, even disciplining your kids way different, and now you look back, you're like, holy shit, I can't believe we got spanked.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I was just.
How can I can't even imagine hitting my fucking kid, But it's just, there's no resentment there, but it's just that's how you grew up, and that's how it was, and that's what they knew, and that they thought they were doing it the right way, and it's just crazy how far like every generation just changes. So,
by you saying that, do you feel like, and I caught on something that you just said where it says, oh, well, it's like tradition, like the whole church thing, right? And that's how you're raised. But just like we're doing, I think the modern us is changing the way we raise our kids, the way we make them more communicative with us because we had that lack of communication maybe with our parents. Do you also feel that in the religion it's part of like for us to finally stand up and say, hey, all this, we got to call out all this shit that's been going on for 80 plus years or whatever it is.
Sure.
Just like we're calling out everything else, like, from the simple thing of calling out the people at a soccer game when they say culero.
Yeah.
Is it the same way, like, all right, well, we need to start calling out all these teachers and priests and coaches, and I mean it's about that time then for those traditions to be broken in a way, right?
Well, I mean, and they are. Do you go to
Yeah.
church? Do you go to church?
No.
Right. Do I go to church? No. Well, I'm not giving them any money. Right. Now, there's certain traditions that we do to appease the family. Okay, let's baptize. Sure. But it's more of a tradition thing. But the more and more you think about it, you're like, we don't have to do that. I want a nice family. I don't need it. You do it, but now you don't give them any money. I don't give them any money. A lot of people just stop going, and that's how you affect them. It's just not listening, but it's not just that. But any institution that's just you outgrow it or you evolve into who you are now.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens with kids make that happen to you, or getting married, and then you start seeing that things that you want to do better change with your kids and your family, and then I have better things to spend my money on, I think, than going and listen to somebody preach to me, which I and if I needed it, great. And I'd rather get my advice from people that love me, my family, and the guac pod and the Puros Compas. So all the advice you guys can give me, great. Yeah.
Oh, I had mentioned we had Diana, and we touched the subject of mental health and same thing, the traditional from back then to now.
Yeah.
How before it was very easy to lo tienes chiqueado, or your kids in this case, and we talked about mental health, autism, the difference from then and now, because now it's we're more aware, I guess you could say, of certain things like that.
Yeah, no, society's changed, man. I think for the better too. Obviously there's pros and cons to everything, but it really is interesting to see how far, especially Mexican Americans, that we had a lot of I think things to break in our traditions and the stigmas or how we grew up. So I think it's positive as long as it's coming from a good place, and it's about caring more about each other, helping each other, collabing with people, not looking for stuff in return. Stuff that back in the day I didn't see that, at least with the older generation. Yeah. It's then I'm all for it, and that's why I try to be an open book with anybody that comes to talk to me. Because I want to be that. It starts with us. It starts with you. It starts with with each one of us to break that bad cycle, I guess, of those stigmas of the old school paisa Mexican. Be tough, and the kids soften you up, man. The kids soften me up a ton, man, and it's obvious, but it's for the best, I think. Yeah.
It's weird how we take it different. Like as far as like what my dad like. You just said kids soften it up. Like, hey, my dad really didn't get too soft, man.
I know.
He had 3 of us.
Yeah.
He's still a hard ass, man.
It's really.
But with me, it's like I have one, and he fucking says something, I'm tearing up right away. Like, that.
Oh no, yeah.
The other day, I told my mom, like, how do you guys do it, man? Like, it's 3 of us, and how are you not like overwhelmed with joy, or not so much in a bad way, but just like, dude, like my kid does something, I'm just like so proud,
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not, but it was just different.
They showed it differently.
Yeah, it was different.
And with my family, it was like they built something for us.
Puros chingadazos, you said, Bart.
Yeah, I love you, cabromente. With my family, it's my dad, mom worked their asses off to build something that now we get to not reap the benefits of, but we're fortunate to have what we have and that's the way they showed us that they loved us, and they worked their fucking ass off coming here from Mexico. And back then, I remember talking to my dad about it. He's like, for me, it was good enough just that you guys had clothes, food, and then I was working my ass off. And now it changes, and I don't fault him at all. I mean, that's what it was. And then what did he learn from his day? So it's about, like, I guess just evolving and and learning stuff from other people that you talk to, but also like how my dad grew up, how his dad grew up. It changes for the better. It's always evolving, I think, and I still do the Mexican traditions, the posadas and stuff. I want to teach my kids that too, but there's a lot of bad stuff we could probably not do
Stay away
anymore.
from.
Yeah, So
I'm interested with your dad. I'm gonna have to ask him one day because I'm very interested in people in particular that I consider to be obviously successful in any line of business, and especially when they're first generation success. By that I mean, they were the first guys to try it and then succeeded.
Yeah.
And I would love to pick their brain. In this case, your dad, to just ask him like, when did he realize? I don't think that he started off in the business thinking what it's gonna be now. Like at one point, did it just switch on and say, hey, this is gonna be huge? Because what you guys have is great. It's huge. I'm just curious too. I always look at rappers and be like, man, that guy's from the projects. Like, where the fuck did Jay-Z and when did they?
Kanye, billionaire.
A billionaire now, is he?
Yeah, billion. Oh, yeah.
is that what yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when did he start thinking that way? Like, when did it switch? Same thing like for your dad. When did it just went like, boom, all right, well. And I know that once we are successful, that's a very strong addiction, the taste of success.
Yeah, it's like intoxicating.
Yeah,
and it's you're always it's our buzz, man. It's like you want to do it again and again, and you want It'd be an interesting question for you to ask him. I think you guys would have a really good conversation. He's an interesting guy, but I don't know the answer. But a lot of people in his position, and I think you might get different answers from different people. But I don't know if it ever clicks. He's in a constant. He's constantly moving forward, man. Trying to what's next. Like I said, he's a big picture guy. And he plans his moves pretty strategically, and he loves his life, man. He worked his ass off. He loves going to Mexico. He likes doing a lot of not-for-profit work. So it's a good question to ask people like that, because I don't know if it ever clicks, because I don't think they're ever satisfied. Maybe they are satisfied to a certain extent, but then they chase the next thing because
it's another challenge in a way.
If you have it and you have that like in you, that bug that like or you have that. What you have it, I would say, and a lot of people have it, and I've seen a lot of people that that guy will be successful whatever he does. If he's fucking selling tacos, or he's selling tamales, or he's a musician, like whatever he's gonna do, that guy's gonna be successful because he has it.
Right.
And there's a lot of people like my old man that I think have it, and they're gonna figure it out, man. So he'd be more. I talked to him about coming on. He's an interesting guy, and it's a different environment for him to come talk to somebody in this setting, where he's more, he can let loose a little bit more, and it's un desmadre. He's fun, man. He's a fun guy, so it'd be fun.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe once we have the whole video up, we'll have him, yourself, and Eric, and have all three of you guys, and just have a.
You have to get the boxing gloves out and the ring and the Canelos people.
The ring girls. Everything.
There you go. No, it's. It's an interesting story. It's an interesting dynamic too. Anybody that works in a family business will say, it's an interesting dynamic and it works, but there's definite benefits but when you're building something that's for your family and you get to employ the amount of people that we employ too, it's super satisfying to know that people make a living. Feed their kids, take them to nice schools, private schools now for some of our managers and staff. Like, it's awesome, man. So it'd be cool, awesome. Man. We'd be open to it for sure. I'd love to, talking to you is, I told you the last time, it's like therapy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you said a lot of people tell you that. It's
true.
Couple
people have told us, yeah.
Because it is interesting to shoot the shit just about random stuff like today.
Yeah.
But it's just good to talk and there's so many different avenues to have a conversation, but with, guys like yourselves that are interesting, that come from different, Aurora, Chicago, right? This is Chicago, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah.
Part of Chicago.
I don't know. I saw planes. I saw
63rd.
planes flying. I'm like, where the fuck am I? I think we're from the suburbs, man. But
you're from the Arlington Heights Bears area.
Yeah, Melrose Park. We're Melrose Park. We rock Melrose hard, and it's Melrose has been very good to us. So, but it is interesting dynamic, the family stuff, and. That's why it'd be interesting that you were talking about like the Revancha Norteño guys and all that.
Yeah, man.
Imagine getting all
Shout
them
out
together.
Revancha.
Yeah.
And Chewy. Man, they got fucked up, man.
We had a party.
You know,
You're gonna see it by the time this comes out. You'll see it, so it's not a big.
they have a great example in their father to have a good time. He's a fun guy, and so it's.
We were very surprised, man. Jesse even, nobody knew them, right?
Yeah.
So Jesse, right before we started, we're sitting in the table, and he says, "Hey, man, I'm a little worried." And I'm like, "Why? What's up? What if these guys are like fucking quiet, man?" I'm like, "Nah, man. They fucking Chewy looks like a party guy,
He's
man.
fun, dude. He's a fun guy, and he's, they've been in the business for so long. It's, and then the mom, Margarita, was the head of La Ley.
So he brought up Margarita right away. And
yeah,
like,
she was it, man. She was.
He
big
worked
time.
for her too. Jesse did.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, at Univision, right?
At one of them, yeah. I don't know which one it was. Probably.
But even
is that
then,
Que Buena?
Yeah, La Que Buena, I think. Yeah. But yeah, just having the whole family, that's pretty interesting to.
So hopefully
dynamic.
we get to meet Jessie through you as well. Shout out to Jessie.
Oh, yeah, dude, she's super talented singer, man.
Yep.
Super talented singer. I know she's working really hard on.
She's got her podcast.
Podcast. She's very involved with her music, and she writes her own stuff. She's a nice girl, and her parents are just like the nicest people ever. So I'm fortunate to have met them and play golf with Chewy a lot. So he's a good golfer. He's a decent golfer.
Does he beat you?
He probably has. Depends how many beers I have. That's though is the caveat. But no, it's just a good time. Golfing's a fun hobby, and you meet people. You get to see how they really are.
You're a pretty big golfer, though.
Yeah, big in size and big, but I do like to golf.
Dude, I've never tried it, man.
You would love it, Carlos.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of fucking cool people out there, and you're affable. Like you're easy to talk to, and that's part about golfing. You go out there, you shoot the shit. Doesn't matter if you shoot a 80 or you shoot 120. As long as you're having fun, man, and you get, people think it's like an elite sport. It's not. There's more people that shoot over 100, which is not a great score, than shoot under. Yeah. So, you go after work, you go shoot 9 holes or something. It's just regular guys playing out there, and you get paired up with them and stuff, and it's a blast. I like meeting people. I think you do too. It's a good networking thing too, but it's also just fun being in. Beautiful landscape and trees.
A lot of beer drinking, is what I heard as well.
Somewhat, yeah. It depends who you're with, but yes, yeah. Oh yeah, a lot of smoke. Yeah.
What do you shoot, man?
I'm like a 15, 16 handicap, so I shoot like low 90s, high 80s, so not great, but
that's not bad though.
No, it's it's fun to play with, I guess. I drink and then I talk a lot, so. It's it's entertaining. Me and my buddies go out. We do trips. We go out to Palm Springs or try to travel anywhere to play. It's really a nice sport. Something that it's like a little bit of a gentleman's sport. You tuck your shirt and you put your belt on. I want to show my kids the same thing. It's fun. You would love it.
Well, that was before pickleball, though.
Yeah, now that's where I'm going.
The other white sport. No, yeah, trust me. I get shit from my dad like crazy. It's so funny. But have you seen Canelo? Do you follow him on Instagram?
Do I? Maybe I do.
So Canelo started golfing 2 years ago.
Okay.
He's good. He's really good.
He can shoot par, I think, or he shoots like 75.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So you see stuff like that. No, and then opportunities open up. Like, hey, if he comes to Chicago, you guys want to play? It's like, yes. Yeah. So it really does.
Medina.
Yeah, and Medina's right by Talk About It. It's a half mile away.
Nice.
So yeah, no, it's a fun sport, but it's you'd love it. You're out in nature. You're just out.
That's crazy.
I played once.
I didn't know he was that fucking
it was a
good.
good
You
time.
put your music on.
Yeah.
You're fucking jamming. Then they know when the paisas are out. I have my fucking Huracanes del Norte or Grupo Firme playing, and
Pinches gritos and shit.
That
was my 4 right there. Pinche grito.
Yeah.
Compa, you need another drink, man. I do like the way David just avoided the shit out of pickleball, so I'm gonna bring it back.
I told you guys not to bring. That was my one thing I didn't want to talk about because I get roasted about it.
We're gonna talk about it.
Eric texts us. He's like, "You got to talk about this, man."
Oh, Eric, he rips on me. He's like, it's like an Elmhurst dad thing to play.
Wow,
it
sounds like the perfect description right there. Actually,
I'm anything that makes you move around and burn some calories because obviously I put them right back in my system with food and beer and tequila. So it's good to move around, but it's a fun sport. I would suggest it to anybody listening. If you like tennis or if you played ping pong before, it's
where it's at.
And that's the last thing I'll say about pickleball.
All right, champ.
Yeah, we did win the championship. We did win. Yeah, we won the Elmhurst championship. Me and my buddy Joe. Yeah.
Still wearing your medal.
Oh, yeah. Dude, trust me. Yeah, my wife, when we played football, we won. So we won like in 2002. I think I brought that shit up every time I drank for like 10 years. And my wife's like, David, you have to stop bringing it up.
Do you remember 2002?
Yes. My dad used to compare it to like Al Bundy. Remember from Married with Children? And he'd always talk about like his state championship game and he scored like 5 touchdowns. That's old school.
He was a Bears fan in that, right?
Yeah.
He was a Bears fan, right?
Yeah, he sold shoes at like a women's shoe store.
You were like the uncle on Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, the guy that can throw the football. Yeah.
Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico, yeah.
Wow. Where did you go to high school?
Immaculate Conception. It's
Okay. And
Catholic
you guys won?
We won, yeah. And so all those guys that played football with me senior year, we're all best buddies still. I mean, there was it's a small school. We probably had like 230 people.
Okay.
And on our football team, probably had 30. And we played schools that had 600-700 people.
Wow.
So we're tight group of friends and go out a lot, drink a lot, reminisce a little bit. We stopped talking about the championship. Now I'm talking about the pickleball championship, but
Same team? Same team? Was that
with a guy that he was our running back, all-state running back in high school.
Shit.
Yeah, no, man, we all
sir.
hang out, and all of our wives are friends and stuff. So, but yeah, that little small school in Elmhurst went there. My brothers went there too, and
Nice.
so we got we got into like the more paisa scene, like music and stuff like that, a little bit after high school because I think I was one of 2 Mexicans in my whole school.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like asking people that come on here that are foodies. Like, I don't know if you heard the idea. We had Huecas Humilde of doing like a Mexican version of Check Please. And
It'd be good, man.
yeah, we think it would be good too. I wanted to ask you, and I know it depends. You might say, well, it depends. But where would you go for the perfect steak, man?
Man, I've always liked Gibson's. I like it. It's just like old school Chicago steakhouse. Now they have so many of them. And then these new spots pop up. It's tough right now paying, $90 for a good steak. But, Gibson's classic. You're in there. You're the guy, it just seems like an old school, like Gene and Giorgetti's too. Yeah. I've been to most of them. I don't go out for steak that often, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I like trying the Mexican spots a lot.
Okay.
The fine dining Mexican spots. I like to see what people are doing to elevate our food.
What do you like there in that section?
Suco.
Suco, I heard great things
It's
about
sick,
Suco.
man. It's good.
Carlos Gaitan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the Bayless places I like a lot too. I think he's done a lot for our community. He's elevated. He was the guy that made Mexican food like this elevated like experience. He he started selling food pricier, but he puts the work in and he cares about the culture. He buys directly from Mexico.
Yeah.
So I like Leña Brava. Have you been
Leña
there?
Brava.
It's good, man. It's really good. No gas lines in the whole place.
Oh,
so
shit.
all wood fire. Yeah, it's badass. It's so stuff like that intrigues me, and I like to see that. But even like La Josie, those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
I've never gotten to meet them. I think they're part of the Comales family. I think they might.
I thought so too.
Yeah. My dad mentioned that to me, but I like that kind of stuff. That's why we did Tequileria too. We wanted to, let's try to do something a little bit elevated, different. But Leña, Tsuko, you should go for sure. It's interesting, and he's a character. He's a very good chef. But I go out a lot. I try to. Now my big thing's ramen. Have you good ramen spots?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I haven't tried ramen yet. Been wanting to try ramen.
Me neither.
I have not tried it yet.
Where's your pizza spot?
I'm a Pequod's guy. I like Pequod's.
I just tried it the other day. It was pretty fucking good.
That's for the stuffed or
Yeah, like the deep
I'm
dish.
Thin crust, though.
You guys got to try the Chicago pizza tour.
Oh.
So my buddy, he owns it. He does the tour. He's got like buses, and that's how I started getting into pizza maybe like 10 years ago.
Oh shit!
And you hit up like 4 spots, and then they pair it with a beer.
Okay.
And he hits you up all around. You go all around, and you go to the north side, then somewhere downtown in the Loop, and then you'll go to the south side. So
what do you like then, pizza wise?
man, I love Lou Malnati's. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I think
fire,
and,
man.
and honestly, they opened one up in Oak Park when I was living there, and I met Mark Malnati, the guy that owns it. Yeah. And I just, he was there working his ass off. Obviously, I think he just sold for like $400 million.
What?
Yeah. But he was working his ass. This is like 10 years ago. So I'm a pretty loyal guy when it comes to spots that I like and bars that I like. I don't go to many bars, but I go to the same bar pretty often.
Yeah.
So I try to do that. I find a spot that I like and I'm pretty loyal to. But we try to get around a little bit. But pizza wise, Lou Malnati's in Elmhurst, we got a place called Mama Maria's. It's fucking great. Just thin crust for them. Thin crust is bomb. Yeah.
I like Pat's Pizza for thin crust. That's pretty good. Yeah.
What do you guys got in Aurora?
We don't have too many. There's a few places. There's Ach and Luz.
Uh-huh.
In Farnsworth. That's pretty good. Thin crust as well. There's a Garrio's. That's pretty fucking good. But I think that's it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
One
kind
other
of sad
fucking
for
piece.
having like 100,000 people
Yeah,
or some
man.
shit
I
in
think they're
Aurora.
like at 200.
This guy was telling me
already.
that he doesn't know of too many places that have like a good, like carne asada, like when you order
No,
carne
it-
asada
it-
tacos.
Like
you
a
know?
like a platter or tacos?
No, like tacos even.
Really?
Wait,
That
in Aurora,
sucks, man.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
There's
just so
scarce.
with the prices of meat, it's so tough.
Yeah.
I would say this. I've talked to other restaurant owners. They're shocked that we do this at Comales and I talk about it. We just use skirt steak, so arrachera. So skirt steak, salt. That's it. That's what you get when you get a steak taco from us. A lot of other places, they'll start, different cuts or even like cecina, which is like they call it bola. So it's more of like we just use like arrachera, which a lot of places it's tough because if you have to, your prices have to be you have to charge for it.
Right.
But so that's what it's. I don't blame people right now. The market's so jacked up, and then the new variants come out, and then the prices of meat goes through the roof again because all these plants are getting ready to lose people to COVID. And you've seen the numbers the last 2 weeks. It's starting
to get back up there again.
Yeah. So you're starting to lose some employees. So if you're buying Christmas meats, buy them now. Like crab legs yesterday were like $60 a pound.
Holy
60
shit.
at Costco. My wife put me on crab leg duty for Christmas. I'm like, we got to find a cheaper fish or shellfish. Like, I'm not paying $60. But it's wild.
Well, there's like a shortage of wings too. I heard like chicken wings, and then the oil is very expensive too now. The cooking oil.
It's the truth, man. And people, people are shocked when they see the prices. But everything, even what are people? People are making maybe 30% more than they were last year too, because everything goes up. Inflation's up. Getting actual like disposable stuff like the aluminum paper
Yeah.
is skyrocketed. Before a cup would cost us like 17 cents a cup, a lid of straw. It's like 40 cents. So when people come in ordering a water, like, why are you charging me 25 cents for a water? I'm like, man, I'm just trying to cover the cost of the cup. Bring your own cup. I'll give you water all day long. But it's crazy, and that's why when I heard like Scotty talk about the pricing and stuff like that, it's he confronted it head on. It's tough because people right away want to put you on blast.
Yeah,
but man, you're trying to make
it.
you're easily you could lose money in a week if you don't adjust your pricing properly because the market's been so crazy for the last year. So he took a lot of unnecessary flack, I thought, but it just is what it is. People,
going back to the culture part, right? Like the cancel culture.
Yeah, people love it, and look at him; he's still doing fine, right?
He's thriving.
But because he's sharp, he works hard. He's got to,
and he's
he
honest
hustles.
at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the truth. You can hide it and do stuff with the price, but it is what it is, man. You want a good taco, it's gonna cost some money now. It's not how it was back in the day.
I love the way he broke it down to a T, man. Because low key, shout out to my boy Jesse Grandote. He was the one that shared the meme.
He was the one. Fucking Jesse.
And
Jesse was the one that shared it.
well, he was not the original one.
Oh,
But in our
he
circle,
started it.
he shared it.
Eek.
And he just said like,
Did
and this
Scotty
was-
know that when he was on?
This was right before Scotty.
Oh no!
And
Fucking
I even
Jesse.
called him out. I don't give a shit. Right there in the guac pot, I told him like, "Hey, Jesse put up this post."
Oh, Did he good?
Yeah, you did.
And
No, Jesse's always
he
trying to
didn't mean-
stir up trouble. I feel like that same podcast.
Jesse
yeah,
is
that same podcast. Me and my
fucking-
brother. I've never brought this up, but
Yeah.
Call
now
him
that I've
la
had some
cuchara.
tequilas, I've
yeah, fuck Jesse. No, just playing Jesse.
No,
He
but
don't let
Jesse
this
asked Scotty a
happen.
question like, "Hey, esos lugares que venden tacos a Taco Tuesday 99 centavos,
Oh,
¿cómo le
yeah.
hacen?"
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
was listening. I'm like, okay. And then Scotty had a somewhat
David took that one like,
oh for
was that
sure.
me,
Well, it's my
motherfucker?
business too, But it is what
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
he was like, no, pues who knows what they're doing,
Yeah.
But for us, man, that's our marketing. We want you to come try our food.
Right.
We're gonna lose some money on some of the meats for sure. You
On
can't
Tuesday,
can't sell anything for 99 cents and make money on it.
Yeah.
So for us, we started doing that 12 years ago, man. 99-cent tacos on Tuesday. Now they're $1.39.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You can eat 5 tacos for $7.50 and you'll leave full.
Right.
But yeah, I saw Jesse was like, and I was like, fucking Jesse, man, why do you have
What
to
are you
do this,
doing?
man? Yeah, no, they're good questions to ask. People.
I think I'm sorry, I interrupted. With Jesse, it's he's the guy that's gonna ask the question that no one else will ask. No way,
Yeah.
right?
No, there's stuff that it's interesting to hear it. And when I heard it, I was like, Yeah, no, I get it. It's tough to see, and at the end of the day, we're all trying to compete for, the same market. But, Scotty's smooth and he knows, he's smart. And we luckily that Taco Tuesday, man, it's took on a life of its own for the last 12 years. Like we do hundreds and hundreds of cars on Tuesdays.
Wow.
And that's people that they try your food, then they like it, and then they're going to come back. So it's okay to lose a little bit sometimes because you're investing. You're investing.
Fucking regular price, they're gonna come back. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just have the special on Tuesday, right?
Correct. Yeah. Tuesdays, and it's crazy busy. We're like in Addison, we're doing a double line of cars, like Portillo style. We got people outside taking orders on the tablet and stuff like that. But so especially in Addison, like we want people to come try the food. Once you try it, I think you're gonna like it. So for us,
the objective is to get them in, the foot in the door, man.
And
they're gonna come back.
Yeah, like for you want someone just to listen to you once or twice, and then shit, if they like it, they're gonna keep. So it's about getting people in the restaurant.
Yep.
You stay busy. Your waitresses are making tips. Your cooks are busy. Now we're, staffing people on a Tuesday, which used to be our slowest day 13 years ago.
Yeah.
So for us, but I definitely was like, I heard the question. I'm like, Jesse, wow, you got to do this to us, man.
Yeah.
But interesting question. That's your guys. That's your guys' job, I guess. Ask good questions.
Yeah.
Right?
Jesse, my props to Jesse,
Fucking
man.
Jesse.
He does ask the tough questions in a way, I guess you could say.
I
wouldn't ask
That's
that.
like the old school Mexican media guy in him, I feel like. Right? Yeah, it
You hit
is.
it right on the dot, man.
No, that's the Mexican culture too,
like
right?
the radio culture in a
Radio
way, right?
culture, yeah. Pues, ¿sabes qué?
Está
Nadie te va a
el
preguntar,
chisme.
yo te pregunto.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Pinche chisme.
yeah, no, it's okay. As long as you got, transparent answer, it is what it is, But yeah, that was definitely interesting.
Salud, compa. How are you doing with your drink?
I'm good.
Yeah?
We might go through this bottle low key very quickly.
No, I don't know about the whole bottle.
It's a liter too. It's not a 750.
Really?
It does look a little bigger. I thought I was just drunk already.
No.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel a little slurry already. That's why.
I mean-
And this is really like the second drink or third drink.
Well,
Yeah,
I served myself
Well, it
like
is
a half a shot.
43%. What did you say it was?
It's like 44%.
44%.
Yeah, so they're starting to do this now. Like before, the only way to bring the alcohol down is to water it down. So
Oh,
now they
shit.
don't. So they don't want to do that. So now especially with stuff like this, that's aged 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
premium. So whatever it comes out at is that's what they put. That's how they bottle it.
Pinche lágrimas de la llorona.
Me
Yeah,
va a hacer llorar esa hija la chingada.
Tears of la
yeah. Put on some bookies right now.
Yeah.
Y pinche. You remember the girlfriend from high school from 20 years ago, or
How about Bookies, man? Did you see it was the second highest grossing concert or something like that?
tour? Like tour?
Yeah, tour.
What? Really?
Behind,
Oh, what?
behind theater?
Second to Rolling Stones, I believe it
Oh,
was.
no shit.
Yeah.
No. What?
That was across all fucking...
Yeah, across the nation or whatever.
I mean, I grew up listening to it a little bit. We were more like banda mariachi, but I saw like everybody was at this concert, and then I saw the
Everyone,
ticket
sure.
price. Like, oh, I got 2 tickets, $700 each. I'm like, oh my god, it's like that. I mean,
Yeah.
And I didn't understand the whole concept that the brothers were getting back together.
Right.
I didn't know that
Like
part
the
of it.
reunion part and shit.
I always thought Marco Antonio Solis was like Buki.
Yeah.
And then my dad's like, "Hey, no, dummy! Like
was the
it's
band.
it's the band, it's the
Yeah.
brothers." And then he dipped, and then now they're coming back together for the first time. And I mean, they sold out Soldier Field twice.
Yeah.
2 times.
I mean, that is what a like
Back-to-back
orgullo
nights.
también. I mean, I remember, and then we got slammed at Comales afterwards. I remember, yeah, it was awesome.
Shout out los bookies.
Yeah, thank you, Bookies, for that night. No, my dad's like, hey, Miko, I think we're gonna get like really busy. Let's make sure we staff this properly. I'm like, really, Soldier Field, like. And sure enough, people were going from everywhere. From Elgin, the rest we have a Comales in Elgin.
Yeah.
2 a.m, packed.
Wow.
So yeah, no, and that's what we try to. Even at Comales, we get a lot of like the mansion crowd now too, or now a lot of concerts at Rosemont Theater.
Man.
Lot.
I mean, that's the other thing with the genre, the regional. That when we started talking about Firme earlier, I was going to bring it up as far as progress. How about that, man? How about all these regionals having concerts now?
I love it.
Yeah, right?
Because before it used to just be like the Pepe Aguilar or like the more
Vicente.
like singers like that. But now to have like MS is gonna do Allstate or Rosemont Theater.
Last time it was Allstate when I went to go see them.
I went to see this was the coolest thing ever at Rosemont Theater. Recodo and Mariachi Vargas de Tecalitlan.
yeah.
They're doing it. They're here again.
Mariachi Vargas
Mariachi
is here,
Vargas
right?
is
Are they here?
Yeah, they're
about
here this
to do,
weekend?
They're about to do Rosemont
Or next weekend.
Dude, it was. But
Yeah.
they played together. They did like the
yeah, they
different.
did the tour.
Man, that's
It
badass.
was awesome.
Yeah.
And we got to meet the guys like, and then my dad like somehow becomes like best friends with Pancho, the guy from Recodo.
Poncho Lizárraga.
I look at my dad. We're backstage, and he's talking to this guy, and like, I'm like, Dad, that's like the guy.
The dude, yeah.
And he told me, he's like, oh yeah, pues estamos hablando un poco. And I'm like, I don't think it's gonna be with Pancho. Best friends now.
Wow.
I don't know. And we're friendly with the guy from Vargas because my dad got a song done for México en el Corazón.
Okay.
So we got to film that at. We recorded it at Vicente Fernandez's ranch,
Right.
Los Tres Potrillos. Mm-hmm. And so and the gentleman that runs Vargas, actually, he was the producer of the track, and that guy's sick. I mean,
Nice.
we got to meet some people there, but yeah, my dad is in Jalisco. You know, I don't know how much time Recodo spends in Jalisco, but Vargas is posted up in Guadalajara.
Right.
But to see that concert here at Rosemont Theater, it was fucking beautiful, and
Yeah.
they do it justice too. They had like beautiful screens. The audio was on point. They came out in different outfits, like every siglo. They did like different like.
Oh shit.
So like they're like
decades or
we're
whatever?
gonna play song because I guess they were like Vargas might be 100 years old.
Yeah.
And
yeah, yeah.
Recodo's out there
It's up
too.
there.
So
Yeah.
they would do like this is how we used to dress in the 50s.
Oh,
this is
that's
how we used to-
awesome.
It was really beautiful.
That
man.
is pretty awesome.
And
I
then
didn't
for
know
them-
they did that.
Oh, it was dude. Hopefully they do that tour again.
Yeah, that was a tour. You're right.
It was beautiful. Then we had the Vargas guys go to Tequileria afterwards, and they were playing the violin and
Nice.
jamming and drinking. It was.
Bro, they're here. I think they're here this weekend or next
you see,
weekend.
my dad doesn't tell me shit, man. And he's
Man, he's
talking,
holding
yeah.
out, man. He's gonna be
He knows I'm
partying.
just looking for a good time to go out and drink.
Like that,
and-
what
yeah.
the fuck, man? Let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and right away when I seen that they were gonna
He's
be at the
probably
Rosemont,
going.
I was gonna hit you up.
Yeah,
You'd be
dude.
like, hey man, these guys are here.
Let me ask my dad.
What's up,
Hopefully,
man?
I'm sure. Yeah, I mean they come around pretty often.
Yeah.
So I'll ask my dad. We should go, dude. They're sick.
Are they the ones you also had at the México en el Corazón?
No,
No.
I forgot the mariachi we had. You know, we try to partner up with different people in Guadalajara. So one year though, you know, I think this year we might get like the femenil from Mariachi Vargas de Tecalitlan. They have a female
Yes.
mariachi.
Nice.
But we've had them. I forgot where. I'm not sure if we've ever actually gotten them, but they produced the song first and they played on the song that my dad had written for México en el Corazón.
Yeah.
But I love mariachi music. I mean, it's dope.
Where does it
Fuck
take
yeah.
you, man? Where does mariachi take you?
Singing with my arm around my brother, my dad, or it's just nostalgic. I don't know. It takes me back to like, you know, being in Mexico and
Yeah.
So like, you know, even the whole pandemic, I caught myself multiple times just like drinking, watching like people started doing the lives.
Yeah.
And then one night Huracanes did one and I listened, I just drank like a bottle of tequila. And I think it was just the missing like the whole oh man, we can't go back to Mexico right now. The nostalgia, and now I do that mariachi too. Like that, there's a singer Steven Sandoval.
Okay.
He was the singer for I think Nuevo Tecalitlan. Beautiful voice. There's some YouTube videos of him singing like in a tequila cave.
Okay.
So his voice is like echoing,
Resonating.
and
to
it's
them.
him and a
Yeah.
harp, dude. It was you I don't know, it's like se te sale lo pinche mexicano, you pinche tequila. Next thing you know, you're a bottle and a half in. So the first couple months of COVID, every weekend, my wife's like, "What are you doing downstairs?" I hear music all the time, just jamming on mariachi, and I think it's just that. And I haven't been back to Mexico, man, since it started. So I'm trying to go back hopefully soon, because it is something como que you miss. I miss.
I think you're completely right about the whole mariachi thing because I don't listen to mariachi at all. Like you'll never catch me. But I've been to the
México en el Corazón.
Yeah. And it's
You went in? Which one did you go to?
I want to say I went to the second one.
At Millennium?
Yeah, at Millennium. And
Doesn't it like fill you up
it's a
with like
fucking
pride?
experience,
Yeah.
He said he cried.
I cried, bro.
Really?
I cried. Like
Remember
we
you
were
guys
fucked
said
up.
that you guys were
Yeah.
crying?
Yeah.
And he had told
Really?
me.
Yeah, bro. It just it brings you together like no other way. And I think the Mexican community period like in ways does that. You
Yeah.
know? Not when you're at fucking the baile and we get all fucked up and start fighting each other.
Yeah.
But, a scene like that way was ridiculous way. You could just looking around, you see everybody's faces and everybody's just fucking into it 100%.
Dude, that's so good to hear, man. I appreciate
like
that.
you said, with your hand around your your person
Yeah.
or whoever you're there with. I actually got to enjoy it with the Miranda family. So like Rick Miranda and all his people, and bro, what an experience! Way that's why that was one of my questions. Like I hope you guys
Yeah.
are bringing it back this year because I can't wait.
You
I'll be there 100%.
That's so good to hear, man, because all this stuff is so reassuring for us. It's a lot of work to do, man, and for us as a family, even to start it up again. You're like, shit, man. And then you take, you right now the spotlight's on the restaurants, but then then you move that spotlight a little bit. Okay, let's start thinking about Mexico en Corazon. So these stories like empower us more because you do feel like I see it from the stage. So that event I put on. That's the one my dad's like, you're gonna do this one, okay. The feeling that we get from being up there, you've had this feeling too. Bailes are different, but you do feel like, oh man, people are paying to see my show that I'm putting on. For us, it's similar, but we're doing it for free, and it's really about putting on, the culture side. And it is like las pedas con de baile. It's fun. I love it. This is more like there is like a pride thing I think that comes into play. And I feel it as an organizer, but I've caught myself. I'm a fan too, man, and I'm on the sidelines once the last act goes up and I can enjoy it. I mean, I'm welling up thinking about like I can't believe we pulled this off. I can't believe there's 20,000 people at Millennium Park on a Tuesday night
crazy
to see this. So, and then you see La Abuelita, the daughter, and then the other, the three generations of people crying. Mm-hmm. So it's empowering, man, and it's good to hear stories like that because we don't know who we get to. Jesse said something cool the last time on the Guac Pod about it. For us, it's like we don't know what people say about it. People go and show up, but it's good to hear too because it is one of those things at the end of the day that takes a lot of time, energy, and money.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that people really enjoy it, and that for us, it's that the juice is worth the squeeze. Like that we're
they are.
Oh, thank you.
I hope you guys keep.
No,
doing
man.
the way.
I'm gonna let my dad know that too because for us, we're just a small little family from Melrose Park, man. So for us, it really is important to hear that kind of stuff because any little stuff like that, just like it starts that fire, and then you're like, okay, cool, man. I just heard this with these guys in the Midway area. I heard this in Taco, and it started building up momentum, and then you start to get that fire. And once once it's lit, it's we're just throwing wood on it every week, getting more and more creative. And my dad's got great ideas, and we have a good Jesus, I'm spilling my tequila, getting excited over here.
Yes.
But we have good ideas for not just the Mexican crowd, the first generation, but now the second and the third generation too. So. I know he's working on it already, but it's awesome to hear that. I'm glad you went, and as soon as we get the date, I'll let you guys know. We're pushing for a Sunday because we think that's a family day. We think that's a day that more people can go easily without taking off of work and stuff like that. And Millennium Park, they saw that there's a lot of people there.
For sure.
So how do we, open up and make it a little bit more accessible to our community? Because it's a family day, and that's how we want to. What we want to turn it into, a family day at Millennium Park.
Hell yeah. When Bart told me, I went to this concert and because he had heard you guys say that you guys had cried, and he's like, bro, I cried.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, stop. I'm like, yeah, I cried, and I think that in your side, I believe a big part of this fire that we all have within, it's like reassurance is part of that log that's going to add fuel to that fire. Once you start getting, you don't need the, everyone wants money.
Yeah.
But when you get things like reassurance and knowing that you're going in the right direction.
It's worth more, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's especially when it's a pride thing, especially with the last 4 years with the rhetoric, or 5 years with, all the anti-immigrant rhetoric and all that.
Yeah.
It lights it even more like, no, this is our culture. It is the banda, all this other stuff, but it is also this mariachi, ballet folklorico, and it's Millennium Park on a fucking beautiful night with the, the city lit up. So it's an empowering feeling, not for us as the organizers, but as like a community, I think. And you see that when you're looking at the people like, dude, this is what we saw, like even like white people there, African American people there.
That was everything.
And so for them to see that, because sometimes, you just see or hear what you see on the media or hear in the, oh, okay, mataron a tal, no, but this is like such a rich culture.
Yeah.
So for us, it is that reassurance, man, is worth its weight in gold for us because it's why we do it, because we want to make people happy. We want to make people feel proud.
Yeah.
Because certain times in my life when I was younger, I wasn't, a proud Mexican because I went to school with all white people and they had their stigma about. So for me, it's really nice to start doing this, well, not start, but been doing it for like maybe 12 years on the music side. Yeah, it helps you out. It fulfills a need that I think a lot of people have to connect with your roots.
Yep.
To feel like you're doing something for somebody else, which is the best feeling ever, I think. So that's good to hear. I appreciate that, man.
And it's becoming it's evolving into a norm. You know, it's not as unusual to see. You know, you guys are creating this thing that it's not going to be unusual to be walking down Michigan Avenue and there's a mariachi playing.
Yeah.
When I was in the corporate America life and I was walking down Michigan Avenue and I would hear fucking jazz bands and I would hear, you know, random opera singers, and it was fucking like 1:00 practice rehearsal.
Yeah.
And people are having their lunch, and I'm just like, how the fuck does this work?
Yeah.
And now you guys are making it to a point where this new generation is going to be hopefully coming out of their great jobs in Michigan Avenue to go see the mariachi that you guys are able to provide and say it, you know, very passionately say, I'm going to go have lunch at Millennium because mariachi fulano is going to be there.
Yeah, people feel represented,
Yeah,
you know?
man.
You know, and that's what we felt when those events, like, people felt like tomado en cuenta, like, look, they're doing something for us.
Yes, sir.
And not just for that that second generation, us, you know, so you feel like, yeah, man. And to see a show like that, to see a show like that, I'm sure you're more likely to invite people to go to it because you know the quality of the show too, where you're like, oh shit, I have to take people because
since I've been there,
Yeah.
bro, every time I get the chance to tell people about it, I'm like, man, like I said, I don't even listen to mariachi like that. But being there, bro, in that fucking place, watching this show that's ridiculous, and then you look up and you see this fucking city lit up to the T, like it's another fucking experience, bro. It's
even that year they let us do BYOB still. So people take they take a little bottle of wine, their tequila. Like, it's nice. That's our community, man. Like, you know, that, you know, before we were, you know, the community centers in the basement of a church doing bailes. Now it's like, to be able to do that is a huge responsibility, but it's como un don. Like, if we can do it, we got to do it because it makes people like you feel that way, or other people like feel me too. Because for us, it fulfills something. So that's really great to hear, man. I thank you.
You feel part of it, man.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, well, you know,
that.
you become a promoter of it too because, you know, and it's promoting our culture, man.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not, you know, I'm not making $1 on it. I think it costs us a lot more money than we normally can even raise because we're busy running restaurants. So we do it because we, you know, toda la pinche último momento a veces con cosas, but sale bien, and all you see is what happens on that stage.
Yeah.
But you've done back of house stuff. You know how it is. It's you know, sometimes people don't know all the drama backstage and all the que no se quiere subir el músico porque no le paga, you know, etc.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of the day, it's people see that show and it's, you know, it's nice to you feel that pride, and it comes through on both sides, the back of house, us, and the guy, you know, the people that get to see it too. So
an experience for sure, man. So everybody listen to this.
I was just gonna say that.
We're gonna fucking post it when you let us know.
Yeah, man, I will.
If it happens in 2022, hopefully we can do something with them too.
Would love to, man.
Yeah.
Would love to. Actually, the Caso Humilde guys, we did like a private event at Millennium Park, and they were just starting.
Yeah.
And I got them into that VIP room, and they were. I mean, we had like big, you know, politicians and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how far back I go back with those. I mean, it's cool because it's one of those things. If you know, cada quien si pone algo. You can make it, you can make it better and enhance it, and you know, we're always open to new ideas too, man. And you guys are so creative with what you guys do. I know that you know, even bouncing ideas and talking like today, was you know, makes me a better, you know, thinker person, and even would definitely bounce ideas off of you guys too, because different mindset. You know, you guys from a different area too. Both of you are from different areas, so definitely when we get the date. We should meet up with my old man and talk about it because I'm sure, you know, enhancing the show, you know, there's a lot of new ideas, maybe slimming it down a little tighter of a schedule and show off our Chicago talent too, man. That's why, like Jesus Ramos, any opportunity that we have and that he has free because he's busy, he's gigging a lot.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's like the wedding guy now, man.
Is he?
Yeah, dude. Well, he's got the romantic voice and
Adam Sandler, wedding singer.
Yeah, he's so talented.
Shout out, Jesus. I'm not talking shit because I just had him for Remax Summerfest.
Oh, really?
Fucking amazing,
dude. He's sick and he plays like Tennessee whiskey. Yeah, no, he jams.
Sinatra.
Yeah, no, he's just a talent,
dude. He's amazing, Jose. You haven't seen him, have you?
Oh, dude,
man, he's on a different level, man.
He's I don't know how he's not he has got a great job, and
Yeah.
and gigging around town, it's not a bad deal either. I mean, he does well. But yeah, he's just such a talent. We're lucky to keep him here in Chicago too, because
Yeah.
he's dope.
Yeah, we gotta appreciate that kind of voice, man. Him and I think his cousin is Miguel. Are you familiar with Miguel Mariachi Ameca?
The trumpet. Is he a trumpet player?
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
He plays everything actually.
He's super talented too,
yeah,
man.
He's very, very good too. He's got a good TikTok too, I think.
Does he? I gotta
Either
follow.
that or Instagram.
Okay.
But he does that. There's a trendy video of people that sing. I forgot. He does it with the trumpet and the guitar and the
so they
bandolon.
have all the squares with all the
Yeah.
music. Yeah. The guy from Regulo did that for a little bit.
The tuba guy, right?
yeah.
Joey.
Yeah, Joey. Yeah. And he
Yeah.
did good with that for a little bit. I mean, it was popping.
He got pretty viral with that.
Yeah.
Shit, actually, he was doing everything though, man. But he was doing it with his mouth.
Oh,
Joey Calderon.
okay.
Joey Calderon.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
He was doing everything with his mouth. Was he?
No, he
God
was
damn it,
doing
I don't
instruments
fucking know.
too.
Was it?
Yeah, no, he
doing
was doing
Everything?
instruments too, and he was singing. And
Yo,
he
you know
could-
what he was doing? The chord, las tres cuerdas. So he would play like first, second, and third on the trumpet. It wasn't just like one. So it was all the cuerdas of everything. He was doing the whole banda pretty much. So
I gotta check that out. I gotta check out the Jesus's cousin's TikTok.
Yeah, he did a
super
cool
talented.
one.
He brings them around every once in a while, and I mean, I'm no musician at all, and
Yeah.
I just when I hear something great, I'm like, oh man, this is like, and I appreciate the shit out of people that have that talent, because I have zero talent in that area. So you just appreciate like you as a singer, like
Yeah.
people that can like hit these notes or play the guitar and sing at the same time is like, my mind's blown, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of music, and Ramos and Jesse and Jose Alfredo from Madera Once.
Oh yeah.
Like very unique
They're
singers.
badass.
And there's a lot of great musicians in the area, and then besides the regional music too that I love.
Correct. There's so much talent, man, everywhere. The guys from Revolución de Amor, which is that like the Mana.
Cover,
band.
yeah, I heard
they're awesome.
badass, right?
Edgar's on there. He's a monster at a guitar and great voice. And there's other than the regional, there's a whole bunch of.
Yeah.
And we're not even hitting like the hip hop area.
Yeah.
That I don't have too much
Yeah, me
knowledge
neither.
of.
Not locally.
But I know there's a lot of up and coming because my nephew tells me, "Oh, this guy." I'm like, I don't know who the fuck
Yeah.
that guy is, man. But yeah, man. We're glad that you came on.
sure.
I'm very happy because I love our therapy. I
Yeah.
like that word. It's came up before. Ever since you use it, I compared it with other people, and they do hit me up the next day to tell me it is like therapy.
Yeah.
And for us, it's like therapy every week that we do it. With you, it's always a little bit. We've only done it with the guac pod, but I told my compa Bart, I'm like, hey, this is gonna be special. I want you to like. To me, it's like I want to learn everything that I can, absorb everything from you and anybody that comes on here because of the perspective. Everyone has a different perspective.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you came on here. I want people to keep listening to you. Every time that we bring you on, just to talk about current situations, just talk about what's coming up with you,
Sure.
with the restaurants, and you're somebody that if we can help out in any way that we can,
For sure.
You individually as bringing you on and just shooting the shit,
Sure.
or helping you out in anything that you have going on from fundraisers to events to anything that we can collab together.
Yeah.
We are more than down, and not just with this, with El Guacpad, con Puros Compas, Aguacate.
Yeah.
Because it does take a lot of us to be able to move a lot of things, make things happen.
No, man, and I appreciate coming on and that you guys invited me, back to your studio to do this, because
man.
it's I learn a lot from you guys too, and I learn a lot from everybody I meet, and it's really it's good to talk stuff out, tell people kind of what they might see a small picture into what we do with the restaurants, but the Mexico en el Corazon thing is really big for us.
Yeah.
And we definitely, and my dad's brought it up to pick your brains about how we can do it better, because we're not. At the end of the day, we sell tacos for a living, and yeah, we're culturally aware and we want to do it. But you guys have done shows and stuff like that too, and it is about that. How do we help each other out?
Yeah.
And transparently and legitly, like with the Casa Humilde guys, and we have a nice window of opportunity where between us all we know somebody. Or
Correct.
and now we're all crossing paths again with what you're doing. So thank you for doing this, because I think it puts a spotlight on the culture, but also just meeting up again after maybe 10 years of not seeing each other to talk about stuff that can empower our community. and help us out too, maybe, and hopefully people listen to our, what me talk or my
Somebody
dad talk
gets
and,
inspired.
yeah, or,
Yeah, man.
or want to, go into that line of business or have, we're always have an open door to talk to anybody about any opportunity or for advice too. If they, want to take it, cool, but, I appreciate you having me on. Honestly, I like talking to you guys, and definitely we should do something together sooner than later because, like I said, I think there's a nice window of opportunity between people, all the people that we all collectively know.
Yep.
That we could do something badass for our community and to put us on, even more.
They're lining up, man. The things line up.
Yeah,
definitely.
And that's how I feel. Honestly, that's
sure.
how I feel. Even with a lot of the people that you have on your show too. That's like, oh man, I remember that guy. It's nostalgic for me from doing the bailes back in the day, but also just very cool to see how everyone's evolved into who they are today.
Yeah, everyone has evolved in a very particular way.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
like it. I enjoy that, and we are gonna have you on, man, more times.
Okay.
To us, it's I've said it with other guys, with other guests. It doesn't for us. It's not like we can bring you on every month per se. Like for us, we want to bring you on as many times as you can.
Sure.
Just to talk, man. Because first of all, I love the fact that you listen to the podcast because it's again reassurance, man.
Yeah.
Reassurance is the topic for me. I think it just lets us know that we're going the right way in a way.
And you had people fly in from Texas to do your
Yeah,
show, so
man.
that's got to feel pretty
That's
fucking
nuts.
cool, So
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but that reassurance helps,
Yep.
and you know that you're in the right, you're going the right way for sure.
right path.
Yeah, man.
And hopefully, we link up with other people that you guys know and
Sure.
bring them on here and just make it a little bit bigger, right? But other than that, my
Thank
compa,
you, bro.
what's
Thank
up,
you.
man?
Muchas gracias, la neta, bro. Since the fucking Guac Pod, bro, to me, that was a fucking huge episode. I know a lot of people really loved it.
Oh, thank you.
The fucking amount of inspiration that
Yeah.
I know I got from that fucking show. And for you to come back, bro, and
Yeah.
do it to us again, la neta, every time I get around, people like you that are doing something great, bro, I fucking just love to sit back and soak it all in, bro. Get there's always that fucking, without even knowing, you'll drop some knowledge on us
Yeah.
that you probably didn't even realize that was worth something, but to people on the outside, it's definitely worth something, bro.
Yeah.
With the fucking mariachi, Mexico, bro, like I hope everybody fucking
Thank
really
you.
pays attention and goes to the show, bro,
Yeah.
porque es otro pedo, la neta.
Thank you.
Otro pedo, and fuck yeah, I hope this is not the last time
Yeah.
and that you guys keep coming back and we fucking get to work together one
Yeah,
day or something.
no, and I'm
like
telling
that.
you, I'm
And-
leaving with that in my mind.
and,
That what you said about Mexico en el corazón and
Yeah.
that feeling that you
Yeah,
got.
bro.
That's
Otro
like
pedo.
that gave me the chills, man. Because that's why we do stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
igual when I meet people like yourself as well, which is our first time meeting,
Yeah.
I soak that shit in too, and it makes me feel like we're on the right path too,
Yeah, man.
and
Yeah,
it's
sure are,
worth
bro.
and it's worth doing, and it's worth all the work and and maybe taking our eyes off some stuff that is important, but to do stuff like that's important for somebody. There's another probably a couple thousand of you hopefully that feel the same way
fuck yeah.
from going to the show. So it enlightens me as well. So I appreciate you guys having me on and
Yeah.
shooting the shit for a little bit.
Yeah, man,
And
go ahead.
fuck, the fact that you guys are just like going back to that, doing it for free, man, because
Yeah.
you guys care about the culture. That's huge, bro. That's huge, bro. La neta. So
Thank you.
everybody go check out that show because
yeah.
it's coming. It's coming this year.
Let me
sure.
let me just say I want to thank you on behalf of everyone that's gonna go because
Yeah.
no one really sees the backside of it. I think
Yeah.
it's very tough and putting on a shows like that. I think it's just mind blowing, and I hope people do take advantage of it. I want to just end off the podcast by saying that I do agree with Bart. I think he brought up a great point because sometimes I think that when we're busy doing what we're doing in our life, we don't realize that there's hopefully people that listen to this and are going to get inspired by us just shooting the shit in a way, right? And that's our main goal with the podcast is to be able to reach the people that we grew up the same, we're thinking the same. Yeah, here's this guy that we want to put you on with, you and anyone else that has to come on here to like see things a different way in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that people do pick up on it. We want to thank you. Thanks to my boy Jose Cermeño. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel on Puros Compas podcast. We're coming with the video 2022, so we're
coming.
getting ready for that. Follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And merch is coming 2022. A little bit of the websites coming that's going to be all merged with all the podcasts. So we just want to put you on all that. Y pues ya se la saben, la pura positiva. Pick up a fucking book and learn something.
Thank you.